Well, just name one positive thing, one happy thought before I move to the next thing. Give me one happy thought.
Well, Aubameyang came on at the 5th minute and he came off at the 66th minute.
Genitalia reporting.
Oh my
god! Wait, Osuna, are you high?
R9 4th and Cristiano Ronaldo 5th.
Can I go next?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest European of all time.
And I want to say R9 just because I actually rate him high. HH. It's just that you always say that he had a grenade tossed to his ankle and he floated or some type of stuff. It's crazy, bro.
So, guys, it's Sunday, man. It's Sunday. So let's talk, for the Sunday hangout, let's just do something much more football related. Let's just expand things. I mean, we're still in the transfer season. We're still keeping a breath of what's happening transfer-wise. And I think we're going to be having more transfer hangouts during the week just to really keep abreast of the whole transfer show. But I thought, for Sunday, which is what we normally do, let's expand things and let's do things a bit more footballing-wise. So I thought, because currently that's what's happening right now is Riquelme's farewell is actually happening right now, I believe. Shout out to your boy, Emin, for sending me that message. So I thought, that's coinciding well for, let's just talk about Argentina and Messi, but specifically comparing him and Maradona, because there was a video of him homecoming to Rosario. I think it was Maxi Rodriguez's farewell, and there was a crazy reception. So let's have a debate. Let's have a discussion. Has Messi, after 5 World Cups, surpassed Maradona in terms of being Argentina's number one idol? I also want to jump over to England as well and just talk about when next will England win a major tournament, and what is holding England back from winning a major tournament, a major competition. And afterwards, we'll then talk about, Africa football, where's Africa football at? Maybe combine that with USA as well, because there's a whole notion of who is going to be the first non-European or non-South American team to get a World Cup debate schema. So guys, it's very chilled out. I have my fan over here. Where I am, you don't know where I am. It is bloody hot where I am. So I need to bring, it's not a freaking vibrator. It's not a freaking lollipop. It's not a freaking ice cream. It's a mini fan. That's USB powered, man. So, just guys, sit back, sit down, enjoy yourselves, have a meal, and let us continue with this Sunday hangouts. Remember, this will be on podcast, and all the hangouts are available on podcast form on Spotify and on Apple. And feel free to send in your dobs and your super chats. These are the things that these donations help keep the channel growing. And I thank you very much for these things, man. So I don't really care how you guys are doing, because I'm still trying to wrap my head around why Kenny's club is buying.
To be fair, it's quite hard.
It's a bit harsh,
That's quite.
I'll say it again. I don't really care how you guys are doing, because I am much more concerned as to why Kenny's club is buying orphans for 8, 9, 10 years and so forth. So maybe you can try to explain that to us, and why we are signing orphans for prison sentences.
The bigger picture is part of the bigger picture, man.
And can you just very briefly, what is the bigger picture that it's part of?
You build
obviously they're trying to buy some of the best young players that they find out there. So
like Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No. Whoa. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. So okay, so everything is in good hands with Chelsea. Everything. So basically, I'm gonna get my trophies next season. Yes.
No, but that's the thing. If it's short term, like short, medium term, probably short term, the success is not gonna be there. Like, what you're expecting, like I said, treble, quadruple, it's not happening next season.
So Kenny, I shouldn't expect a trophy next season after spending 600 million.
You see, they spent. Who are they spending that money on? Do you know how many players they bought for? Like they've bought like 20 players. So if you, it's probably like,
Kenny for 600 mil. I won a trophy. I won a trophy for 600 mil.
They're not buying ready-made players, so you're not gonna get trophies right now. They're not buying the best players out there.
Okay. Let's move. So, guys,
not enforced.
Let's start. So, many people will say, and shout out to iTest merchants, shout out to the various guys on Twitter who spam my Twitter account, who spam me with Messi's the GOAT, Maradona is nothing but a cocaine abuser. So the notion now is he's the undisputed GOAT, and for sure he's better than that drug sniffer known as Diego Armando Maradona. So I'm just going to tell you where I am and where I stand, and then I'll kick it over to the guys, and we're going to have a nice, lovely debate here. Messi finally got into the club. Him winning that World Cup, it was huge, because for so long, everybody in Argentina was, we don't care what you've done for Barcelona, we don't give a damn. That's cute what you've done for Barca, but what have you done for the national side? And in the space of a few years, he gave you a Copa America dub, and then he gave you a World Cup dub. And so people say, wait a minute, he's for what he's done club-wise, because this is not even up for debate. He's the greatest club player of all time. 100%. But so for what he's done in the club game, I now couple with the fact of what he's now done at the World Cup, he has surpassed Maradona as Argentina's #1 idol. But all I say is this, and this is where I'm at with it. I feel that despite what he did at the World Cup, coming in clutch against Mexico, that was a huge, massive goal that he had against Mexico. I think that was the most clutch goal that he scored, which was against Mexico, because there was a lot riding on that game. I think everybody can agree that the greatest individual performance at the World Cup was what Maradona did in 86. And I was thinking to myself, and maybe I may be wrong, I think that the Argentina 1986 team is the weakest team to win a World Cup. So for what Maradona was able to achieve in that singular tournament, I think that you can't surpass that, because he did it DOI ×3, which is leading that Argentina side that were not favorites to saying what's up. And I think Ricardo even made this point, I think yesterday, that people said Brazil. People forget Argentina's winning run going into the World Cup. So if anything, Argentina were actually one of the strongest teams and were one of the favorites to win that World Cup. So obviously, Messi still had to say what's up. He still had to ride it, but Argentina were one of the best teams at the World Cup, and they were one of the strongest teams, and they were one of the favorites to win it. And when people did the predictions, most guys predicted Argentina to win it. Nobody was predicting Argentina to beat England in 86. Nobody thought they'd beat West Germany in 86, because West Germany were the strongest team and they were the favorites to win the World Cup in 86. So I think when we just look at what Maradona did, and also, and it's a cheat code. That's goal in England.
The handball, you mean?
No, the goal. Not
when he dribbled the whole team.
No, Kenny.
The second one.
Both things work, because the first goal is I'm willing to do anything for my country. Second thing is I'm the GOAT. So second thing is that I'm the GOAT. First thing is I'm willing to do anything. So in my view, I still feel, despite what Messi has done, he's definitely entered the conversation. He deserves more than the praise. I still feel that for what Maradona did in 86, he still is the #1 idol for Argentina. Ricardo, where you at? Do you think Argentina have now put Maradona down and they're now coming in to praise Messi? Or do you think it's generational? The youngsters are with Messi, the old heads are with Maradona.
I've always had this great conversation with my uncles because they grew up watching Maradona. So to them, he cannot be moved from #1. But every time I have this debate with them, it turns into crickets, because I may not be a chef, but after this, I might get a Michelin star to my name.
Oh, yawn.
No. If you deep their career, all respect to Maradona, I'm not denying that World Cup in 86 is second to none. Like that, it's in terms of dud or whatever. Nothing comes close to that. However, if we're gonna talk about who's actually better for Argentina, there actually is no debate. It's actually Lionel Messi, and I'll put it to you: When Maradona,
so Ricardo, are you going to hit me with stats and numbers and goals
oh,
and assists and all stuff?
I'm not gonna really give you the raw numbers, but I'm just gonna tell you generally speaking what they are. Maradona in '86, he didn't have anybody who he was consistently compared to. Sure, maybe the team wasn't all that, but when he did play, he did have Daniel Passarella beside him, which was actually the guy who helped the captain Argentina to their first ever World Cup. So he did have a World Cup winner in his team. Maradona wasn't compared to anybody. Lionel Messi, from the start of his career, he's always been compared to Diego Maradona. Do you know what it is to have a young player be compared to arguably, if not the greatest player of all time, just because they were around the same size, they were both left-footed, they were both Argentine, they played the same way? It's insane amount of pressure that Lionel Messi had to play under. Now, it's not only the pressure that we as a fans put on him, but his country was significantly more harsh on him because a lot of the people that were judging
So we're using hashtags, okay.
A lot of the people that were judging him were the ones who witnessed Diego Maradona. And by all means, if he plays exactly the same way, it warrants the comparison. Now, when you look at Diego Maradona's campaign, he had 10 goals, goal and assist contributions in his tournament. Lionel Messi did as well. He had 7 goals and 3 assists. Diego Maradona had 5 goals, 5 assists in the ones they won. However, the difference is that Lionel Messi actually showed up in the final. We can't act like that didn't happen. You can say that, oh, well, he gave the game-winning assist.
Yeah, he gave the game-winning assist. No, but see,
okay, but hold on. Hold on.
It's qualitative. You can't say, oh, goals. What were those goals? Because Ricardo, I'm going to respond because we're going to talk about those 2 goals he scored against Belgium in the semi, and we're going to talk about the greatest goal of all against England.
Okay, but Messi. Okay, even if you want to talk about that, look, I agree with you that you got to do what you got to do to win the tournament, and there's the handball. But if we're going to be honest, if VAR existed in that time, we don't know if Argentina wins the World Cup. We don't know if they win that game, because we can't just look past the fact that goal they scored with his hand, he benefited from the fact that there was no proper VAR around that time. Let's keep it a
he did what he had to.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
We can't do hypotheticals.
It's not his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. But I'm saying he's benefiting from something. Messi doesn't have that benefit. Like he can't just handball a ball into a net and get away with it. Like this is the VAR era. Okay, so that's just so in my opinion, he's matched him in World Cups. He's Argentina's all-time leading scorer. He's tied with him in assists in World Cups alone.
No, Ricardo, he has not matched him in World Cups because it is what Maradona did at that World Cup. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Okay, even then, let's look outside the World Cup. Both of them have an under-20 World Cup victory. Both of them have the Finalissima, but Messi has the Olympic medal and he has a Copa America. And not even to mention in Copa America, Messi is also the all-time leading assist.
Olympic medal.
So Ricardo,
we're talking about everything they have accomplished for Argentina. So you can't say Olympic or start questioning the Olympic. Messi won it with Argentina. Maradona didn't win that with Argentina.
Ricardo, this isn't. If it's about accomplishments, then there's no debate. Because, you see, we can't have a mathematical debate because mathematics, there's no debate in mathematics. Numbers are numbers. So if it's about accomplishments, what are we talking about? The debate is, has he displaced Maradona as the number one guy? And my thing was that we can't use, because of course Messi has won up because of the numbers. But I'm saying that what he did at that World Cup trumps everything Messi has done for Argentina.
No, you can't. So then,
yes, I can.
No, if you're saying that what he's done in that World Cup trumps everything Messi has ever done or could have accomplished, then there's no point of this debate because you're never going to concede. The point of the debate is that you hear the other person's argument.
Okay, let's hear you.
But this is what I mean. If you want to remove, the Olympics, okay, cool, let's remove it. Okay, where is Maradona's Copa America? He is not.
Drugs, because he was done for.
Okay, but how is that Lionel Messi's problem? That's Maradona. That's a negative on Maradona for letting his country down. He couldn't win a Copa America. A matter of fact, let's not get the moment Maradona retired, Argentina won their last Copa America in 1993. That's the last trophy they ever won, and Maradona wasn't a part of that squad. Diego Simeone was a part of that squad. And Messi had to carry the burden from 1993 all the way till 2021 when they finally won the Copa America again.
So we're going to skip the fact that he lost 3 finals and he quit on his country.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to get to. We love to shame on him for losing those 3 finals. I understand he lost the big one.
And he quit on his country.
But you cannot overlook at the fact of how he's performed in those tournaments. That's like criticizing LeBron James. Oh, you made all those finals, but you didn't win them. So you're telling me losing in the quarterfinals is better than losing in the finals? What's the point?
No. Obviously, it's better you go to the final, but a loss.
Okay,
is still
so then
a loss.
I agree with you. A loss is still a loss, but at the same breath, you can't be like, oh, the finals.
Would we have lost those finals with this man?
They weren't even made the finals with this guy. But you can't say in the same breath. You cannot say in the same breath that it's better to lose in the finals and then criticize Messi in a debate about him and Maradona.
Okay, what about him quitting on his country? Does that count or that doesn't?
But this is what I'm getting to.
Okay, please get to it because I'm waiting. So
okay, so like I said, Maradona never had any pressure because he was never compared to anybody. You cannot sit here and deny that every athlete in the modern day lives with the pressure of social media. It's magnified everything. Did he crack in terms of like he had to maybe force into retirement? Yes. I'm sure the pressure for him was immense because every single day he was constantly being told he's not Argentine enough. You're a product of Barcelona. You're a product of Spain. You're not. You'll never be Diego Maradona. You'll never be this. You'll never be that. That's not even considering the problems that were going on in the federation at the time, which is one of the bigger reasons actually why he retired.
So basically, just be clear, due to the pressure, it was fair that he quit on his country.
I'm not saying it was fair. I never think you should quit, but at the end of the day, I understand. Like,
you understand why he quit on his country.
I understand because it was unfair criticism. Like, the moment he retired, I think it was kind of like 2 times, but the second one was the one where they borderline didn't make the World Cup. You know how embarrassing that would have been if that didn't happen. It would have been better for Messi's legacy if he actually didn't come back. They missed the 2018 World Cup. He comes back for the next World Cup and he wins it because then it shows the Argentine people that this national team, it only goes as far as I take them. Without me, you guys don't even make World Cups. This is not a debate. This is honestly not a debate. As great as Maradona is, like Messi had far more pressure. He had more burn.
But the whole point you're making,
he statistically is better than him. Every single metric.
Oh please, don't give him statistics. Don't give him statistics, bro. No, but Ricardo, no. But the point you're basically though is
you don't want statistics. It's so hard to argue against Messi.
No. The point is basically you messed up because you gave me the ammo I'm not going to use against you. You said that Argentina were on the best unbeaten run going into the tournaments. Yes.
Because of who?
Were they on the best unbeaten? It's a freaking team.
Yeah, there was like 36, 37, sure. But
cool.
Let me ask you a question.
And it's yes or no? Did Messi have a superior team to Maradona in '86? Yes or no?
Yes, but do Argentina win that
World
World Cup without Messi?
There's no yes, but it's a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question. Does Argentina win that World Cup without Messi?
No. Does this win it without?
So it doesn't matter.
Do they win the World Cup without Emi Martinez? No.
Well, you can
do they win it without Julian Alvarez?
No. Okay. Does Maradona win the World Cup without Buruchaga?
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes. That's my point. Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, they don't. Bro.
No, because Messi, the fact of the matter is this. Now, Ricardo, you've said your claim. I think the examples you've brought are bogus, and as the streets are saying, they say that you're talking nonsense and crap. But that's your viewpoints. You've used stats and statistics, but you fail to really convince me. Now, Kenny. What
you didn't come. Let's keep it a stack.
Ricardo, I thought you were better than using numbers and stats like a freaking geek. Basically, no one.
You didn't do it.
You're in front of the class mentions. That's what it does to the front of the class to do.
The title of this video is Messi.
Kenny, can you talk over this guy?
Maradona for Argentina.
Kenny, can you talk over this guy?
Yo, Ricardo, your mic is a bit tripping.
Kenny, no. Trust me, his mic is fine. We can hear him well. Trust me, we can hear him well. Kenny, where are you at with this whole thing? Do you agree with Ricardo that because Messi has better numbers and statistics, he has surpassed Maradona as it goes despite what Maradona did single-handedly in '86?
No, I think that for me, there's a lot of nostalgia with these older players, and the thing is, but it's true. It's true. Like some of these players in the past, they had their own issues. Like they have their failures, but obviously it wasn't bad. It wasn't internet time. So every time they had failures, it's not like nowadays. If a player like a Messi or Ronaldo does something bad, all of a sudden you have like the next thing you know is full of people on Twitter, on the internet, just trolling them. Whereas back in the day, these guys made a mistake and we don't care about it. And then if they win the World Cup, it's like the greatest thing ever. And then obviously if a Messi wins the World Cup, we're gonna talk about all the times he's missed instead of celebrating the time where he won.
Kenny, you've talked.
So-
Waiting.
No, but it's true.
Are you, my friend? Look, are you putting Maradona or Messi above them? I say you two talk. I beg, use mouth.
If we
Kilo day.
it's just if we've been real, like, Messi has done more for his country than Maradona. But obviously, I'm not Argentina, so I don't know how they feel about him. But if you've been realistic,
Can you trust me? You go to Argentina.
It's just if you're being objective, if you compare the careers, like there's no comparison.
No, Kenny. If we're using numbers, okay, if you want to be like a freaking geek, nerdy mathematician like Ricardo,
It's just
of
not
course
numbers.
Messi. Of course Messi. Kenny, if you want to be geeks, but see, I thought we're actually having a grown-up conversation, not a geek nerdy conversation. So if you want to actually be mature about this, put down the numbers and the computers. It's about being qualitative, not quantitative. If we're being qualitative, Kenny, Messi, despite everything he did for Argentina Olympics, under 20s, where he beat Nigeria and so forth, prick, Copa American World Cup, that doesn't surpass what that man did in 86. Because, Kenny, it is established that is the singular greatest individual performance by a World Cup, and nobody has seen that. Basically, the closest thing to that was if Zidane closed the deal in 06. That's the closest thing. Yeah, and even then, Zidane only began to pop off in the knockout stages. Maradona from game one said what's up. And even when he didn't say what's up in the final, who produced the match? Ricardo, shut your mouth. Shut your filthy stinking mouth. I'm talking to Kenny. I'm not talking to you. Mute your mic. Kenny, if not for that match winning assist, where we are right now. So I'm saying that what he did at that World Cup with Kenny, it is established that is the weakest team to win the World Cup. This is a fact. That Argentina team in 86 was the weakest team to win a World Cup. So that is why the story is he single-handedly dragged an average team to win. Kenny, is that Argentina team in 2022? Are they average?
No, is that hypothetical?
No, don't stutter. Was that 2022 team average? Yes or no? Answer the question.
No, it's not average. No, it was a very good team. It's a decent
team.
Thank
you. Very good. Thank you.
No, but we see with the hypotheticals. If you remove him, would they win? Or I don't know. This is hypotheticals. We can't say yes or no. But like I said, if you look objectively, I think as a single, if you say the Maradona's tournament is better than Messi in 2022, it's probably right. Yeah, maybe he had more individual as an individual. Probably he performed a bit better. You can say that. But the guy at the end of the day still won it. He won Copa America as well. So I'm sorry, and the guy has played longer as well. So he just has a better career than him.
What's longevity now?
No, but it's true. He's played more. He's won more. Like what more do you want to do?
Hold on. He just gave credit to Zidane for doing what he did in 06 when he was 35, while Messi won the World Cup at 35. Like, what is wrong with this guy?
Hold on. Well, here's the thing, though. If Materazzi didn't insult Zidane's mother and so forth, he would have won that final. So there is a Materazzi tax on that sort of thing. And also, let's be real. What Zidane did in 06, I'm sorry. Messi.
No, it was great.
No.
Messi put a top
it's not even off this, Ricardo. It's not up for debate.
No, it was great. But
I respect what Messi did.
No,
he was superb in 2022.
It's a top five. It's a top 5 all-time performance in a World Cup.
It's just that French team was.
Wait, what did he say? What
You're telling me Lionel Messi's 22 campaign isn't a top 5 World Cup campaign?
No.
All right, buddy.
Wait, what?
All right, buddy.
Wait, who do you have as?
Wait a minute, I beg your pardon? I beg
He did
your
have a lot of
pardon.
penalties.
Wait.
Who do you have above him?
Ricardo,
hold on.
no.
Wait,
See,
wait.
guys.
No.
No. We're gonna have uncomfortable conversations.
Okay,
We're
go
gonna
ahead.
have
Wait,
very
tell us
uncomfortable
your
conversations here right now because see, I told you, I'm not. Let's not keep it real.
Hold on.
Let's keep it.
H, who do you have? H, who do you have above him? Wait. H, who do you have above him?
If I hear has it from 18, we're gonna
Forlan is
fight.
above him. Zidane is
Forlan?
above him.
What?
Forlan is above him. Zidane is above him.
It's
Beckham is
Neuer.
above him. Maradona is
Beckenbauer.
above him.
Beckenbauer.
Ronaldo is
Did you say
above him.
Beckenbauer? You mean?
So that's what I think.
No, it's just- come on.
Because no. See, okay, can we be real right now?
I think
This
Neuer
wasn't
in
Messi's peak.
2014.
Doesn't matter if it's peak. It's how you perform.
No, but here's the point. Messi's great World Cup was supposed to be 2014. That was when he was really at his peak. So at 22-22, he showed flashes. It wasn't the Messi that we knew.
Doesn't matter.
Basically, do you know what this was? This was akin to what like R9 did in O2, post grenade. So this was like what? Like what is because pre-grenade, we saw what Ronaldo was in 98. So for Messi, this was about I'm using my wisdom and just my quality just to produce. Basically, perfect. Messi's performance was good. Rather than performing, it was good. Like Arnold wasn't amazing in 02. No, Arnold was.
No,
was
he still performed.
No. But what Arnold did in 02 was good. It was good. But in terms of performing, come on, Messi did do what Dad did in 06.
No, he had some crazy performances. He had some crazy.
He won man of the match in 6 of the 7.
Ricardo, man of the match is subjective. Don't use that.
Not, bro.
Ricardo, don't use that. Ricardo, don't be a child. Ricardo, let's be grown ups here. Ricardo, let me grown ups here. Let's not use that crap. Okay, let me come to Hokage. Where you are with this? Has Messi surpassed Maradona as Argentina's number one idol, despite needing 5 World Cups to get 1 World Cup trophy? Even though Mbappe needed it to do it the first time as a teenager at 19.
And you lost.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah because Maradona played at the times where defending was ass. Like, I mean, name me a top defender from that time, HH?
Can I respond?
Right.
No.
HH, right now, top defender from that era. Top defender.
No. Okay. And I have the power to respond. Okay, it's all relative. So fine. Maybe they're not top defenders at the moment, but Hokage, if you committed homicide, you got a warning back then.
True.
Oh my God.
That's true. No. That is true.
If you committed homicide, you got a warning.
Bro, you're so
and also if you killed someone in the afterlife, you got a yellow card. That was what the era that Maradona was. That was the era that Maradona was living in. Where basically guys were like, bro, that's what happened to Pele in 62. Where they're like, oh, he's the star player, injure him. And it was allowed. So yes, we say, oh, the defender wasn't good, but the flip side is it was far more dangerous, specifically for star players. Because guys could be like, that's the star player, let's break his legs. And referees would allow you to be very rough to star players.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, if Messi didn't win the World Cup, right? Messi isn't even like a top 50 World Cup player of all time. Like I can name 50 players that probably had better World Cups, from goalkeepers to attackers, defenders, midfielders, that had better World Cup legacies than Messi before this World Cup. It's also important to mention most of his goals were penalties. I don't care what anyone says. That's crazy. That I think all of his goals penalties besides the Mexico goal and the rebound goal against France, right?
Yeah, he had 5 goals.
Australia.
No, Australia. So his open play goals was Australia, Mexico, and the goal from 1 yard out. Thanks to Lloris in the final. The rest were pens.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But I don't know. This World Cup, I think, puts him above that because he did win a Copa America, and that was against a pretty good Brazil side in the final, right? I know you like to say Di Maria bailed him out for being clutch in the final, but I mean, he still was excellent for the whole tournament. That's how he usually is. Like, he was excellent for PSG this year, but I mean, PSG was just overall trash and they didn't get anything. But
see, people don't want to have this conversation. And Hoka, you said a very dangerous name. And Hoka, you shouldn't have said this name because this is a name that Ricardo thought was not going to be brought up. But Ricardo blamed Hokage for this. So Ricardo
Di Maria say it,
no. Hokage said a very dangerous name. He referred to the angel Gabriel. so what? And you see, Ricardo's sweating. Ricardo, he's not sweating. Ricardo's not sweating because Ricardo knows that when we go with the angel Gabriel, Ricardo's like, oh damn it, oh Lord, everything.
I got you, bro.
Can you see the sweat? See, that thing is a sweat going down his neck.
Ricardo, I got you.
Now he's not mumbling in Peruvian and everything.
Why are we acting like Maradona didn't have Guru Chaga?
So Hokage mentioned the angel Gabriel. So Hokage, let me say something that's going to be crazy. 2014 final? Who lost to your country? Who wasn't on the pitch? The angel Gabriel. 2015 Copa America final. I think the angel Gabriel started, but he got injured. We don't know what happened. 2016 final, Angel Gabriel did not play. The finals that Angel Gabriel played, the Copa America final, where Messi was amazing in the Copa America, arguably the greatest performance by an individual in a Copa America, hands down. Probably, statistically, the greatest performance ever by a player in a tournament was what Messi did in the Copa America. Come the final, Messi dropped a disaster class. The angel Gabriel came up trump with the Kiwitin goal. Hokage, we now go to the World Cup final. Angel Gabriel had a garbage World Cup, pretty much. Come the final, come money time, who sends Ousmane Dembele back to the hospital? In Angel Gabriel. Who helped win for Messi? And who then scored the other goal to make it 2-0 to Angel Gabriel? Hokage. Angel Gabriel goes down. Sorry, he gets subbed off. What happens? Mbappe erupts, and Mbappe says what's up and forces Messi to go through penalties to win that World Cup, not through open play. So Hokage, I'm not saying, bro. I'm saying.
Can I say something in defense of HH's point?
I don't understand.
Di Maria.
I don't know, like...
Wait, hold on.
You know Messi might be the only player that's ever been punished.
Ricardo, can you shut up? You've already spoken already. Hokage is speaking. Don't be rude. Hokage, go for it.
I just need to know why you're like. Did you even watch Maradona live? Like HH, the only people I know defend Maradona. My girlfriend, she's Argentinian, and he asked me who's the better. I'm like Messi. He's like, oh, you're retarded. Like he basically called me retarded. Like the first time I met him, I'm like, bro, like of course he's the better player, but the only people that protect Maradona are like people who are on their deathbeds, but you're over here protecting him. Like, so I don't know, like, where is this objective?
That was crazy.
That was crazy. No.
Nostalgia tax, man.
No, but I'll be real, because I'm similar a bit to Ricardo. So my brothers are 7 and 6 years older than me. So the first name I knew about was Maradona, because that's my brother's favorite player, is Maradona. And also, again, this shows my there was a VHS of just like World Cup things and so forth. And when I was young, 6-7 years old and everything, I was just inundated with what Maradona did. And my first foray into Maradona was when we qualified for the World Cup in '94. And the amount of talk, because almost Maradona was like a mystique. So there was a fear factor around us, like, what is this whole thing? So I watched tapes upon VHS tapes of Maradona based on my older brothers and so forth. So, and also, okay, go on YouTube. There is an entire full footage of his entire 86 campaign, which is singularly seen is the greatest campaign by an individual at a World Cup. Okay, that is the weakest team to ever win a World Cup. Hence what they said, that is the only time one man pretty much dragged a bomb out.
That's false, by the way.
I don't know.
That's false, by the way.
Valdano
was literally playing for Real Madrid.
Okay, Hokage, just ignore this clown. Look, that is the only time you've seen a individual drag a fruit selling team to Hokage. Who the hell is Bro Chaga? Bro, Okay,
Oh my God!
Ricardo, shut up. Okay.
Wow.
Literally, after he scored that goal, nobody knew of him, bro.
You can't call that.
Okay, but AJ, I'll say this.
It was Maradona and a bunch of riffraffs,
I'll say this.
orphans,
AJ,
corpers,
hold on,
and
hold on.
guys from the
But
room.
the last thing I'll say.
Do you know what they called it? There's a massive newspaper. Maradona and the Roadmen win the World Cup. That was the tagline.
No way. No,
AJ, I'll say this. I'll say this one last thing in response to that. AJ, one last thing.
Merchants.
One last thing. HH, I don't care. I know that some of these players were decent, but this Argentina team wasn't fantastic either. They're a good unit, but these players, Enzo hasn't done shit in football. Di Maria, all right, he's a great player, but look at that defense. Look at that goalie. He just exploded the last year. Like, HH, this isn't one of the best World Cup winning squads either. I'd put it pretty low on the list.
They're the favorites, though. They were the favorites.
They weren't the favorites. They were like fifth. Everyone else was
they were top two. They were top two.
Because Ricardo messed himself up when he mentioned yesterday.
Bro, why is it only me?
No, Ricardo, I'm using your points against you because yes, Ricardo said that Argentina had the longest unbeaten run coming into the World Cup. And I remember, when we did that whole predictor thing, they would show what most people thought. So most people actually predicted Argentina were going to win. So now I said that this is an open World Cup. There are no favorites here.
It's because of Lionel Messi. Like what Hokage is saying to a degree is correct. When you look at the players on Argentina, like individually, none of them are really world class. They're just great all together as a unit. They're really good. That's why they're a great team.
HH, go back to 2014 and 2018 World Cup. If you went on predictors, Argentina was probably top 3 on all of them just because of Messi. Because he's got a legion of Indians and Chinese people that follow him around the world. So, like, I don't know. AJ, you gotta take that with a grain of salt.
Hokage, you're in a yellow. I'm just saying, you're in a yellow.
AJ, it's fact. Like, it's not
I'm just saying you're in a yellow. I know it's fact, but I'm just saying you are not. You're in a yellow.
AJ, he adopted a whole country. Bangladesh is Argentina 2.0, bro. Like, I'd say it's fact.
God.
Respect Bangladesh.
To be fair, China's.
I'm just saying, people are saying that.
As a half Indian, I demand a red card.
Okay. Wait, hold up.
Can I speak on this?
Okay, no. Let me hear from Samasi, and then we'll hear from Elijah, and then we'll take some dubs. So, Samasi, where you at this whole stuff?
This bald fraud, man.
Shut up.
I think you have a point. I don't think you are totally right. I still think Messi is the overall better player, especially for his club career, is 1,000 times better than Maradona's. But Messi in 2022, he had Enzo, he had Alvarez, he had Di Maria, he had better players around him than Maradona. And
Facts.
Maradona played against better teams. Germany was great. Italy was great. The great nations were great. Which team besides France was great in the World Cup? Let's face it.
And Samasi, that was France without Pogba and Kante.
They were finished. They were done, bro. Stop it, bro.
They did play the last finalists. They did put the last finalists of the last World Cup in the semi-final.
Like
they played some decent teams. So.
Brazil were just as good as Argentina, but they choked because they always freaking choke.
No. Samasi makes a very good point.
Croatia was actually a good team, bro. They made the finals.
Oh, please. Oh, no, don't give them nonsense.
Croatia is finished.
That was a washed-up Croatia. A France without Pogba or Kante. Who else? What?
Bro,
the Wallabies, Kangaroos?
Bro, you can't do that.
Ricardo, rep the Kangaroos. I want you to write it to rep the Kangaroos.
Wallabies.
The previous World Cup, Croatia literally made the finals, and then they finished third in this last World Cup. That's a good team. I'm not saying there's a great nation with multiple World Cups.
They were much bigger than they were 4 years ago.
How do you know that? You can't attest to that. They were beaten
because they were at their peak 4 years ago.
Didn't Argentina beat Belgium? What's that Belgium team? Who's on that Belgium team that beat?
This is so revisionist. It's not even funny, man.
Who's on that Belgium team that beat? Who was on that England team?
What is being real? What is being real?
No, you're not.
Call it Half Hope's Real Hot. I'm changing the name. It's called Half Hope's
Everybody
Real Hot.
was saying England. If they get to the final, they'll beat Argentina.
Okay. Let me come to Elijah, Dubs, and then I'll come
No
to
one
AK.
said
Elijah,
it.
talk to me.
England are bottle jobs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Elijah, talk to me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'd like to take a couple minutes here because I think you guys may be overthinking this. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with just leaving things the way they are. For me, I think Argentinians look at this, the Messi Maradona thing as like, up to a point where like Messi's like a god. Let's just be really honest. I look at it for them like this: Maradona is God, and then Messi is the son, and then maybe one more person is the spirit. Honestly, because I just don't think that. Okay, let's do this. Messi and, if anything, Messi and Maradona are parallel. The only knock I have for Maradona was the Copa America. Obviously, leading up to '86, the biggest issue was that Argentina had failed in the group stage at the Copa America, and then Messi. Obviously, the biggest knock is losing those consecutive finals. Now, I'm not going to knock anybody because both of those achievements are historic in their right. It doesn't matter how much you want to deal with it, but I think it's just that we just try to find a definitive answer. There is not going to be a definitive answer at the end of the day.
Elijah, don't forget that Maradona ghosted in the 2 World Cup finals, by the way.
Exactly. That's another thing. He did ghost in 90. Let's just be really honest. The reason why Argentina lost in 90 was because
but Elijah, it's funny, but that guy with a wife beater in the top half corner, he failed to mention that. No, it's what it's called, and actually, it's actually crazy that people actually call it a wife beater. Like, why would you call it a wife beater? It's mad. That's a whole separate thing. That's just mad.
That's what people in Nature's time were doing with this show.
So okay, I'm going to ignore that. But are we okay? You know what? Like,
let me cook. So as I was saying, Maradona. They call Maradona. I've seen in videos. They call Maradona God. They call Messi the son, and then I think it's one more person they call the spirit. Okay, Christianity tax. All right, cool. Now you can't. If anything, you can put them parallel because at this point, Messi is the modern day incarnation of Maradona. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, it's an improved version, actually.
Okay, I'll take that. Now,
great.
At this point, it's too complicated to separate them because the goal is to put Argentina back as the number one club in the world. Now, number one national team in the world, which has been done. Now, my thing is you cannot separate the two. I know they've had their failures. And I think the biggest thing is we tried, and that's the biggest thing I hate about the GOAT debate, is there's nothing wrong with leaving things the way they are. Okay? If you're a young guy and you want to take Messi, stick with that. Perfectly fine. But you have no right to underestimate what Maradona did. And if you're an old head and you want Maradona, keep Maradona. But that does not give you the right to undervalue what Messi has done because they literally did.
No.
Elijah,
then
Elijah, can you stop being so
no. But then Elijah, can you then please stop telling these fanboys to leave me alone on Twitter and everything?
That's not my
because they keep sending me DMs. They keep linking me with like, oh, he's the goat. Sorry, Elijah, they won't leave me alone. They leave me alone because Elijah, here's the thing.
No, it's your fault, AJ. It's your fault.
I am Elijah. Because Elijah, hold up. Because here's my thing though. After what Mbappe did, I can't do it. I can't do it because after what Mbappe did, I can't do it. I can't do it.
So your job is to meddle and to fight with these quote unquote, football scientists. They know the game. You said you're the analyst. So that's your job. Your job is to deal with these people. You know what I mean? With great responsibility comes. With great powers come great responsibility. So you have to do responsibility. My thing is already like Maradona, and then Ricardo made a good point. If you notice the similarities, is because the Argentinian Football Association is so damn corrupt, it's insane. Already in '83 with Maradona, they already had issues with European players. They couldn't. They did that. There was a big thing where like they didn't want to use European players. They just wanted to use domestic players. If you notice in that '86 team, the '86 team was made up majority of domestic players. While if you look at Messi's team, it's made up majority of European players, which is pretty insane. Now, at the end of the day, I put those two parallel. I put them as the same thing. No, it's my living room. I'm in my new apartment. That's why it's still empty. But I just think there's got to be an appreciation level of both, and then there's nothing wrong with leaving the
right.
Elijah, this is a debate. You got to take a stand for one side, man.
His stance was, leave me the F alone, you Messi sexuals. That was his stance. Leave me the F alone.
This is not a debate, bro. This is just so obviously objective. Messi's
no,
great.
it's not. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me just take some dubs. So, shout out to Maximilian, new YouTube member. Welcome to the membership club, baby. Welcome to the membership club, man. Hamza C, thank you for the dub. Some who grew up with Diego will also say Messi is greater, and shout out to them. But Hamza, I'm not one of those. I respect Messi. He's done a lot. But after what Mbappe did, I can't put him above my Maradona.
What does Mbappe have to do in this debate, bro? Like, there's nothing to do in this debate.
Ricardo, 5-2. He says, no, Mbappe. No, here's the thing. Mbappe's performance in that final overshadowed everything. In my view.
It doesn't.
It did. So my thing is that Ricardo, you can't win a World Cup and an individual overshadows you. You can't win a World Cup and we talk more about the guy who was on the losing team than you. It's crazy. I'm sorry, it's crazy. Shout out to
Mbappe literally himself said, I'm ignoring you.
I am ignoring you. Badass Omelette. Ricardo's GOAT debates, very impressive research, although it's a bomb.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Badass Omelette, man. Thank you, man. Well, bro, his research is trash, man. Hamza C. The debate is that you didn't think Messi would ever win the World Cup, and now that he has, you're pulling crap out of your backside, LL. No. Here's the thing.
He's spinning.
Here's the thing. I never said that. I never said that he'd never win the World Cup. And once he won the World Cup, I was like, welcome to the club. But Hamza, the issue is Mbappe took some shine off of the win. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody cares
because I'm saying, here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. If Messi
lost.
That's what I'm saying.
Guys, here's the thing. No. It's
5-2, whatever. At the end of the day,
Messi
won the World Cup over him. What the? I don't care.
If Messi's goal stood, which is the winning goal, bro.
No, it wouldn't. You would find some other reason.
Ricardo, if Mbappe didn't get that clutch last minute penalty, it's over. Messi undoubtedly that's it. Because that's the perfect story.
You don't believe that yourself.
Ricardo, I can't. Ricardo, I'm not repping penalties. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. So I'm not repping penalties.
You don't rep penalties, all right? Then you don't rep Mbappe. Wait. You don't rep Mbappe's hat trick then.
Wait, how did Chelsea win their UCL penalties?
If Barry by doing Doi. If Mbappe wins the UCL 24 for PSG, first UCL or UCL and La Liga for Real Madrid, first season as the main man. And win Euro 24 and Olympic 24 for France, wins Ballon d'Or 2024, HH will say it's the greatest Ballon d'Or win ever.
You will. He's not wrong. That's what you do that. You'd be the very
first. Facts.
3
hours. Hold on. You can't list all those things and be like, you shouldn't even put it to that part. That's like, it's over.
That's crazy. As an IFS merchant, I don't know how you value
the Mbappe narrative is crazy. Don't let Mbappe win another World Cup and don't let him win a UCL with PSG. Because if he does that, we're coming back to this stream and Ricardo, you're hosting it. Ricardo, if Mbappe wins a UCL and another World Cup, Ricardo, you're hosting it. You are hosting that stream.
I promise
Ricardo, you are hosting that stream, bro. If that happens, this will be the script. Like this will be the setup. If Mbappe wins that second one, this is going to be the setup.
Look, if Mbappe does it, great for him, but it isn't going to change what Messi has done in football history. So he can win everything. I don't care.
5-2. Zoteng TV. Other than the Angel Gabriel, how good was Argentina really? Higuain, Aguero, Otamendi, etc. are all international bumps. Messi carrying them to a Copa and World Cup win is dud. See, Zoteng.
No, you can't put
Messi. No. Messi. Okay, Messi carried them to the Copa America final. When he ghosted, who came up trumps? Di Maria. Messi carried them to, let's be real, Netherlands. Are we going to forget what Emi Martinez did?
Oh my God.
Are we going to forget what Emi Martinez did? And then World Cup final, when Angel Di Maria came off, who saved that 1v1? And then who then saved the penalty shootout? I'm sorry, you can't ignore Emi Martinez.
So Nobody's ignoring them. Nobody's ignoring them. You're just
Ricardo.
No, it is not.
Ricardo, not once. No, Ricardo.
You literally.
Ricardo.
Hold on.
During your bum-ass trash bias soliloquy. During your trash soliloquy, you didn't mention Emi Martinez once.
Hold on.
During your trash soliloquy, Streets, did this bomb mention Emi Martinez once during his freaking tirade?
We were talking about Messi and Maradona. We're not talking about Di Maria. We're not talking about what's it called, Martinez. But when I brought up Burruchaga, I hit like a freaking PTSD from your World War I venture, and you started tweaking, bro. I'm like, come on,
bro, guys. After Burruchaga got the World Cup final, I think he retired, bro. That was what Messi was doing. After that, he actually he went back to his fruit stall and so forth. The Burruchaga markets, man. Detroit's Rock City. El Diego is the greatest Argentinian ever. He's bigger than football.
And there's nothing wrong with that statement.
That's what some people say.
And the same with Messi. There is nothing wrong with that statement saying Messi vice versa. There's nothing wrong with that statement.
I don't know. Zota Stevens, think of it all, Zota, man. If you're saying stats between Messi and Maradona, the rules of football were different. I don't think we should compare. But if we do, we have to add all the context. Maradona is much better than Messi. When you see, hey, guys, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't compare different eras. Because when Hokage said that the defenders used to sniff alcohol, I'm like, cool. Yes, they sniffed alcohol, but it's a different context. So, the defending wasn't as better, but guys could hack you down. Bro, there is a clip, I think it's in the Serie, where all guys did was just hack down Maradona as he's beating one guy, another guy, and they're just trying to hack his leg, break his leg, hack his leg, break his leg. So, it is context matters. So it's a different context, different time.
It's the same thing with Pele getting hacked in 62.
In 62, yes. Because guys are like, wait a minute, this is a freak of nature. Bro, injure him. Which is what they said. Screw it. He's the best player, injure him. But then Garrincha then said, what's up? Baras Omelette. Is Messi the best international player in the last 10 years? Only player ever to win 2 World Cup Copa Best Player Award, 4 finals, 2. Maradona can't. But that's
the first one was gifted to him. The first one.
Yeah, it's true. 2014. If I'm German, I'm like, hang on. Neuer lives. So that 2014 award is bogus. Copa America, cool and everything. But my thing though is
he's a top player at that World Cup. You guys just want to deny it.
Oh,
he wasn't.
No, at 2014, Ricardo, no, he wasn't at 2014.
No. I'm not saying he was the best player. I'm saying he was one of the top players at the tournament.
Was he? No, Ricardo, no. Was he the best player? No, he wasn't the best player. He was one of the best. No, the Dub says best player, not one of them. The Dub said best player. Was it the best player?
Yeah, I'm not denying that if he hadn't won it, it wouldn't have been like something crazy. I'm saying there's players that were better, but we acted like Messi was dog shit that tournament, which he wasn't.
Sure. Jay Jokin, you can't get sodomized 8-2 and be the GOAT. I'm sorry. Does he have a point? No, come on. That's Koeman tax, but you can't do that. Jay Jokin,
Messi, the center back, didn't do his job that day.
Whimsical thoughts. Thank you for the dub. Whimsical. Statistically, Messi surpassed Maradona for Argentina. He has both a Copa and World Cup, but Maradona will always be the greater player. Certain footballers transcend the beautiful game. To Argentinians, Maradona is a celestial deity. So, Ricardo, do you know what greatness is? So, Ricardo, well done. You know how to read off the stats. Well done. You know how to go to Wikipedia. Well done. Congrats.
You want to know what greatness
as whimsical thought to say, is beyond numbers. Greatness are the intangibles.
No, I'll tell you what.
And as I said again,
right now in this testimonial, Messi literally just scored. For him to be bowed down in his name channel from Boca Junior fan when it's well known he's a Newell's fan and he was going to play for River Plate, that's greatness. Even your greatest rivals are the ones that are bowing down to you. So I mean, that is greatness.
Okay,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, he is not. He is wrong. He's wrong. Wing won the World Cup, but was outshone by 2 teammates and Mbappe.
Oh my God, this is.
No. See, Ricardo, you cannot deny that.
Who won man of the match?
No. Ricardo, I know who won on penalties.
Who won man of the match?
I know who they gave the award to, but Ricardo.
Who was Argentina's top scorer? Who was Argentina's top
Ricardo, what was the most iconic moment?
Who had the most man of the match? Sorry?
The most iconic moments was from Mbappe.
The most iconic moment was Messi lifting the World Cup. That was
the most iconic moments was Mbappe's goal. So that's what I think. Barras Omla again. Thank you for that. Calm down and listen to your panel. I don't have to listen to anything, bro. I don't like. Last I checked, it's a free country, and I didn't listen to that Peruvian next to me, bro. So you're just like a bully, forcing Maradona over Messi. Messi has surpassed Maradona with CL, Copa, and World Cup by winning player of the tournament. You're just a Messi hater. Maradona needed help in the '86 World Cup win too. Here's of course it's a team game, so of course everyone helps everyone. But badass, it is established that Maradona single-handedly won that for a much weakened team. And I am not denouncing what Messi did was amazing. I came here and said, bro, what's clutch against Mexico? He gave birth to the best defender, Guardiola, and he showed up in that final scoring that goal. But the issue that we're missing here is Mbappe messed up.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm sorry.
Can I ask you a quick question?
No, you can't.
You say that Maradona is greater than Messi. That's fine.
I said you can't ask me a question. I don't know.
No, you got to answer this question. What has Messi have to do for your opinion to change?
Can I respond?
Win the 2026.
No, because
Hold on.
If you can give me an answer, that means you're telling me that you're actually open to the debate that
watch
Messi
HH say win the Euros. Watch him say win the Euros.
Oh no, he wants him to come back in 2026.
No, Ricardo. Win a World Cup without relying on penalties and without being outshone by another player.
You act like all he did the tournament was just win penalties. He was dribbling through players. He has like the 2 assists of the tournament. Like, what more do you want, man?
No. You asked me a question. Win a World Cup without relying on penalties.
Right, so he's got to win another World
without
Cup.
being outshone by another player in a final.
Messi standards are insane. You got to win 2 World Cups.
Yeah. So I'll see you in this. I'll see you in America, bro. Not mental health journey. Argentina made the final right after Maradona. Unlike Zidane, Messi didn't even have a top 7 talented team this World Cup, plus Lautaro choked. We're not doing this. Argentina were one of the
winning a World
strongest
Cup
in the
with
world.
Lautaro is done.
Yes, that is. See, I'll give Messi that. How we play with Lautaro, that is slightly dot. NDI. HH was there when Uruguay won the 1950 World Cup. But the thing is that I wasn't though. Because
wasn't the same fashion as Jesus
unless your math teacher was a moron.
I
turned 19 in October. I turned 19 October 4th of this year. So do the math when I was born. I turned 19.
How was leap year? So 68.
How was the 1950 final? Can I ask?
You didn't get a ticket.
AK, I said that I said I turned 19 in October 4th of this year.
Yeah, that's in Nigeria, by the
way. HH still blames Barbosa.
Mental health journey. It wasn't Zidane's peak either. Messi dominated the midfield more so than Zidane did in 06, but the standards for him are higher. But Zidane produced the greatest performance by a single player at a World Cup at age, 33.
But he lost the World Cup and got sent off.
Thanks to Materazzi. Wing.
Wow.
Gedmola is the GOAT. Killer on and off the... Okay. All right. I'm not... Let's do it. Nigel Cardoso. Maradona cocaine tax. Yeah. Look, man. And he did this all high on cocaine. So that's even extra. Minecraft the Diamond. Can we talk about Maradona drug tax in 86? What's drug tax? He wasn't taking drugs in 86.
Wouldn't that ruin his performance?
What? No. Also, thank you. Even if he took drugs, that's doy. So to perform like that while high on cocaine, that's very impressive.
That's for pain tolerance, man.
Yeah. Mental health journey. Now you count goals when it's Zidane. It's the eye test. Wait, when did I ever say this? I've always been fair. Half Hope's Twister. United wants Mount, but no top team wants Felix.
Even his
Because he's useless.
I don't know why you're my twist. Okay, you know what? Let me just mental health, Johnny. Messi versus Holland, goats pass. Maradona could never, except by giving the World Cup final winning assist, but it is what it is. Minecraft the Diamond, according to HH, I Goicoechea.
Goicoechea.
Is that the keeper?
Yeah, the keeper. Because I think they had another keeper in the 1990 World Cup.
Yeah, 1990. Who saved the Who saved the penalties? Nathaniel, longest unbeaten run because of Messi. No. Large part due to Messi, but also don't discount Scaloni. Don't discount Emi Martinez.
But you discounted every single one of Maradona's teammates.
My thing, because guys, when it's penalties, who was the hero? Emi Martinez was the hero. You see, if it's just open play, then cool. See, Maradona was like,
you have discounted every single one of Maradona's teammates.
Ricardo, do you know what Maradona was like? No, chill out, relax. I'm going to do this in 90. Maradona was like, no, relax. We don't need penalties. We're doing this in 90. I'm sorry. Blaze A. HS stats are facts, and greatness is forever subjective. Hence why we are. You can't debate maths. That's the whole point of maths. Maths is objective. No one debates maths, but we are having a qualitative debate. You can't have a quantitative debate because numbers are numbers. So that's me. Nathaniel, I test Messi was 10 times Mbappe in the final, even though Mbappe scored one of the greatest goals ever in a World Cup final. Interesting. Jaden Alvarado, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. Argentina won and it shouldn't matter. But to go in depth, Mbappe did do better than Messi. Messi didn't do what Maradona did in 86 and they had a penalty every single game.
That makes no sense because Mbappe had 2 pens in the final. So
how is that Argentina's fault that they're getting penalties because the other team doesn't know how to defend properly?
And that argument makes no sense. Mbappe had 2 penalties in the final.
Jaden,
what is
I'm just saying.
He literally contradicted himself in
penalty. So what's it called? AK, talk to me, bro. AK, talk to me, man.
Barry's got to cook too.
AK, talk to me. AK, talk to me.
Yeah, HH, can you hear me well? Like,
Cicinho.
No issues with my mic or anything, right? Yeah. I think all what you've said so far, it's all been a sham, to be honest. Let's go based on like World Cup to World Cup. If you say Messi had far right tax, Maradona had hand of God tax. Maradona had 5 assists, 5 goals. Messi had 7 assists, 3 goals. Similar performance in the World Cup. Wait,
hold on. Okay, I think there's something wrong with your mic because your hands are a bit raw.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, Maradona and Messi both had similar like stats, if you want to say. You could bring the argument that Maradona had a worse team than Messi. But again, that's based on context. Football in 1986, you had your Italies, your Germanys, you had a lot more like better teams then. And now you have Brazil, who are probably the worst Brazil I've seen. And like, do you have any other like France and England? But they always, they never get it done. So the competition was lower during Messi's time, but the competition was higher. Competition was probably higher during Maradona's time. That's a plus to Maradona. But okay, maybe there's the argument that the World Cup wise, Maradona had a better World Cup than Messi's World Cup. But then why didn't Maradona win a Copa America?
Drugs.
Well,
he was banned due to drugs.
I don't think Messi needs to be blamed for Maradona being a druggie. So
exactly.
If Maradona needed help, he could have gone to rehab, but he decided to take drugs and ruin his career.
These were the 90s. This was before social media and so forth. Mental health was some kind of... You were laughed at for mentioning mental health in 1990.
Wasn't that just saying
That's unfortunate. Still, Messi still won a Copa America and Maradona didn't. So I think Messi... I mean, what are you saying? What did Maradona do apart from that World Cup?
Oh no! But AK, the whole point is that World Cup performance trumps anything because it was so great what he did.
It was one World Cup.
No. But AK, It's one World Cup, but it is the greatest World Cup achievement by an individual.
A World Cup that he ghosted in the finals. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he got the match winning assist. Okay, because AK, here's the thing. AK, I am the biggest Messi fan. And you know that I've always been Messi number one and everything. And everyone knows that I'm the biggest Messi fan. Guys,
what?
Okay, and okay, you see people watching us, people saying that I'm a Messi hater. Do you know the kinds of stuff in my DM from Cristiano Ronaldo fanboys? If I show you the kind of stuff that people have sent me from Cristiano Ronaldo fans, then you will know that the kind of abuse I've taken in the name of saying that Messi was always greater and better than Cristiano, and he is one of the greatest players of all time.
You should make a YouTube video.
No. Quick question. Does Messi win the Copa America and World Cup without the Angel Gabriel?
It's a team sport.
By the way, Maradona's 1986 team actually had the best defense in the Copa Libertadores. A tournament in the 1980s.
In that final. Hold on. In that World Cup final, who were favorites? Argentina or West Germany?
The World Cup final.
Say Argentina. I dare to say Argentina.
It's a World Cup final. People thought France. Most people thought France were going to win this tournament. Wait,
West Germany already won a World Cup. West Germany were already two-time World Cup winners already. Going into the whole thing.
You know France was did you know that France was actually the slight favorites to win the World Cup?
Exactly.
I said in that final, who were favorites, West Germany or Argentina?
Okay, the same logic applies to this final.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
France were favorites.
Yeah.
Wait. So you mean in 22 to 22?
Yes.
No, guys. I don't think you understand. France did not have their two best players.
Bro,
it was a miracle France even made the final. In that final, of course, Argentina were favorites. Argentina, guys, no, guys, don't be revisionists, guys. Come on, guys, come on.
Bro, this guy thinks France is like Nigeria, man.
Guys, let's be real. Argentina were favorites in that final.
No, they weren't. France were
Guys, you're lying. You guys are lying.
Google it yourself.
Guys, you're lying.
Relax. Argentina had the harder path to get to that final.
Exactly.
Who did France play?
Bro, it's Morocco, bro. Come on.
Respect Morocco.
Morocco. We're not repping Prince Charles. We're not repping Prince Charles.
Come on.
So you consider England? Okay, if England had made that final, you think they had a better chance?
Of course not. No.
Okay, exactly the point. Argentina.
No. But I'm saying that come that final, based on just how good Argentina were, and they had supposedly one of the best players in the world in Messi, and France didn't have their two key players in Kante.
They were done, bro.
Wait, hold up. So remember coming to the World Cup, they lost Benzema, they lost Nkunku, they lost Pogba.
This guy said Nkunku like he even plays.
Okay, Benzema, Pogba, and Kante. Three key players they were missing. But they were still favorites.
Doesn't even play.
Get out of here, man.
Bro,
get out of here.
Pogba bangs Juju, man.
What difference does it make? Lautaro was playing on a sprained ankle. It's not his problem that Benzema couldn't do the same because
Benzema's fallen more poor than has appearances for France.
Okay. Okay. So okay, are you finished?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so in your view, Messi has surpassed Maradona as Argentina's number one.
Yes, he has. It's not a discussion.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Only the oldies.
J2S, where were you at with this?
Yeah, Messi is greater than Maradona. That doesn't mean Maradona is shit, because this is where football fans become retarded and stupid. We all know why you don't like Messi. It's because he teabags on your nation every World Cup.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We ain't forgetting about 2014, 2018.
2010.
Wait,
we didn't need to go there, man. We didn't need to
get dunked on by that Argentina in 2018 is crazy.
I swear Enyama checked his pulse in the final one day.
This has nothing to Argentina fluking wins against Nigeria and so forth. But we still beat them in 96, Olympic final in 96. And that was the one that mattered the most. We beat them when it mattered in 96. So
were the players of age, by the way?
No, they had Ahmed Musa in 2018. They said he was
Ricardo, that's a warning. Next is a yellow, possibly a red. Go, Jesus, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this World Cup is probably this is a top 5 World Cup performance because can you name any other player in World Cup history to score in every single stage of the World Cup? Group stage, round 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final.
What comes to penalties?
Wait, can we?
Wait, so we're counting
No.
We're not counting
Mbappe's
Oh
hat-trick?
my
Are we counting Mbappe's
So we're
hat-trick?
not counting
I'm not saying so we're counting penalties. It's a question.
Did Mbappe score a hat-trick?
I'm asking Jesus a question.
hat-trick?
Jesus, so we're counting penalties. That's what I'm saying. So we're counting
You have to be
penalties.
consistent with it. You have to be consistent.
Cool,
If you're going to
cool.
count penalties,
No,
then you count Mbappe. If you don't count penalties, so Mbappe didn't win a World Cup, didn't get a hat-trick.
Wait, so just very quickly. This is just a simple question, and this is nothing against it. Did Messi score more penalties than open goals at the World Cup?
Were we criticizing
It's just,
Messi for not being? No, wait, hold
guys,
on.
can I ask a question?
Were we criticizing Messi for not being able to score penalties when it matters? And now he does it. Now it's a bad thing. Wait.
Ricardo, it's not a bad.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Okay, guys, I've changed. I think penalties are a very hard to score, and it's a very tough thing to do. No, it's true. I think that's tough. All I'm asking is that did Messi score more penalties than open play goals?
Yes. No, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing.
I think we know what you're doing.
So that's it. And
how do you, as an eye test merchant, rate a kick and run merchant?
No. Look, the fact that Messi scored more penalties than open play goals, I think that's great. I think that's actually really
good. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Every person who wants to criticize Messi, for one, they said that he couldn't score penalties when it's mattered, and the second thing is he was a ghost. He never showed up. And
it's great, Ricardo. I'm saying that adds to his greatness that he scored more penalties than open play goals. I think that's amazing.
Just now, Mbappe's hat-trick counts then.
Yeah, how many open plays did Mbappe score this World Cup then?
What?
How many open play goals did Mbappe score this World Cup then?
Because
we can't
like 4 or 5.
So
because he scored 2 penalties, and then I think he scored 4 open play goals. Because he scored
8 goals in total.
He scored a Dubinsky in one game.
He scored against Denmark.
Yeah, he scored one against Denmark.
Australia as well.
And I think did he score 2 against Poland or 1 against Poland?
He scored 2 against Poland and 1 against Argentina.
Yeah, so was that 4?
6?
I think he scored 5.
Not the top scorer?
Yeah, no, I think it was 5 open play goals, 2 penalties.
Oh shit!
So he had 8 goals in the tournament. So
yeah, because
8 goals.
Okay, so
6.
6.
8 goals in the tournament.
Wait, you scored 3 penalties then? Did you know?
No, 2.
Yeah,
2
2.
penalties in the final.
So he scored 6 open goals and 2 pens.
Yeah.
Guys, why are we getting roped up? Only HH has made us talk about penalties.
So Mbappe and Messi both scored 1 open play goal in the final then, so it's equivalent the same.
It's even.
Exactly.
Jesus, I just said that. I think it's amazing that Messi scored more.
And Messi actually played well from the first minute.
I'm saying it's a good thing that his penalties were amazing. Like those are quality penalties.
We're not going to forget the assists he did this tournament as well, because he adopted Guardiola.
Jesus, look, I'm with Jesus. I'm with you. Upset. That's assist. Jesus, those penalties were quality. Those were quality penalties.
Yeah, we've discussed that already.
He impregnated Ake in this World Cup as well. We can't forget that.
Wow.
Were those the 2 best assists of this last World Cup?
No. Like the assist to them to what's it called? That was a great assist. Look, you see, my thing about it is what Messi did at that World Cup was superb. But the problem was what Mbappe did in the final overshadowed.
No, he doesn't.
Because
he's done this for an hour.
What does everybody talk about at the World Cup is what Mbappe did in the final.
Makes it even better.
I actually, you know what? I hate Mbappe. I actually hate him because he's ruined this whole thing.
No, you don't.
If Mbappe just said, "Shut up, let's not do the thing," then bro, Messi goes. But Mbappe, he made it weird.
You would have found another reason.
You know why that's false? It makes the story even better because he had someone who challenged him to actually get the trophy. It was going to be too easy if Argentina just won 2-0.
Wait, can we have an uncomfortable conversation? Is Mbappe a greater legacy threat to Messi than Cristiano Ronaldo was?
The hating has come out.
After reading that depth of this man, you might be right.
Hey, no, I'm just saying, bro. It might be true.
Look, man, Chris doesn't need to look bad. This man doesn't need to catch any
Sorry, you need to catch a straight.
This man doesn't need to catch any
How does he get mentioned on a Messi Maradona stream?
Relax.
Yeah, man. He doesn't need to catch any
Never underestimate my ability to speak about Ronaldo.
To be fair, how many players have scored against North Korea? So Ronaldo's got doing.
Oh wow! So okay, actually, okay, wait. Let me call. So it's been ages. Rob, talk to me. Where are you at with this whole thing, man, Rob? And it's great to see you, Rob, man. You've been missed.
Yes. Well, I think that they've both been great. I think Messi and Maradona. But personally, because I haven't seen much of Maradona, I would say Messi. He has won everything there is to win: Champions League, World Cup, Copa America, treble.
But Rob, based on what Messi did, did he do what Maradona was able to achieve in that '86 World Cup? Based on what him dragging that average team in '86, did Messi able to do that? What Maradona did in '86?
Well, you could argue that that team from '86 was worse than this Argentina team that Messi had. Even though Messi still had some weaker players. So you could argue that Maradona played with teammates that were worse or that were lesser. But I still think that Messi did really well, had great performances, and helped this team win the World Cup. So I still would say what Maradona did was great, but I still go with Messi myself.
Who else wants to touch upon this pause before we move to
me?
Barry, talk about that, and then I'll come to you, Mace. Barry.
All right, so the stream has been going on for 75 minutes, so I had the time to make my research and everything. So they're both great, but I think it's also generational because for example, us youngins, we haven't had the luxury to watch Maradona. And the old heads, they have a more bias towards Maradona because they watched him when they were young and everything. And it's also nostalgia. But I think the Messi story for Argentina is even better because when you combine all the L's, all the difficulties that he had, I was there in 2016 when he missed that penalty in New Jersey.
Gary, I was there too, man. I saw that shit.
It was tough, man. It was tough.
That shit was scary, man.
Yeah, it was tough.
Wait, hold up. Wait, Ricardo. You're Canadian. What the hell were you doing in New Jersey?
You do realize it's not that.
It's
not that far.
Oh, geography, man. Oh, cool. You know the map. Oh, geography, man.
It's not that far.
Yes, it's just 5-6 hours drive from where we live. I mean, Ricardo lives in Toronto, but look, we're there to see like all the L's, the difficulties, and it makes the story so much better. The performances at the Copa America, the World Cup W, it makes the story even better. And Maradona, I think I will agree that he had the best campaign out of every player in history in the World Cup, but Messi's campaign is also for the ages. What he did, game in, game out, when you look at his performances, dribbling-wise, playmaking-wise, passing-wise, goal-scoring, it's amazing. It's top 5 or even higher for some people. And Maradona, the thing is, it's not the only World Cup that he played. He also played in 1990. And when you look at the... How many goals does Maradona have in World Cup finals? As much as us here, 0. And the 1990 World Cup final, Bundesliga got substituted in the 53rd minute because he was injured or something. What did he do in that final? What did Maradona do in the 1990 World Cup final? He did nothing. So he's 1-1 in World Cup finals. As much as Messi, they both have won World Cups, and Maradona, he doesn't have a Copa America. In 1994, he got out of one game. I think, which game was it? But I remember he failed a drug test. He had to go out of the game. So when you look at what Messi did for his country, for every single tournament, I can't even tell one tournament that it was really crapping. Okay, maybe the 2014 knockout stage. But even when you look at his performances, game in, game out, every aspect of the game offensively, he's been great. So I just think Messi, Maradona is also great, but I just think Messi is levels above,
That was good, Barry. I respect that, but I humbly disagree with every point that you just made there.
Why so?
He doesn't have a point, Barry.
No, because no, you do make very good points, but I just feel that you are missing the significance of what Maradona did in '86. That's based on what he did in '86. But unless Messi does something, what he did in '86, it was so great. All that Messi has done, it just doesn't equate.
What do you disagree?
I don't think that because I don't think you fully comprehend what he achieved in 86.
Bro,
That's what
we
that's
heard
all you guys.
we
I think
heard
all you
time.
guys are missing. All you guys are missing is I just think that you don't really understand what this guy did.
All right,
hold on.
If Messi leads Argentina to another Copa America victory, being the player of the tournament, what are you gonna say?
Barry, wanted to say something?
Ricardo, he wants 2026.
Barry, what are you going to say? What are you going to say?
How good is Uruguay 86? How good is Belgium 86? Name me one class player in both of those teams.
Barry, West Germany.
No, you got
it. He didn't even face the whole country. He plays half the country.
West Germany.
Ricardo, we're not repping East. Ricardo, we're not repping East Germany.
Wow.
We're not repping East Germany.
You can't say Germany without East Germany, man. I don't understand why we're not repping them.
Because basically they beat the team who ended up winning the World Cup 4 years later.
No. Messi lost to Germany.
My thing is,
shut up.
My thing is, if you're looking at that World Cup run, it makes no sense. I mean, Uruguay, who was there? Tell me who was there. England, the same England that nobody rates when it comes to World Cup games.
Exactly.
Are we talking about or Belgium?
Ziba, don't say that. Ziba. England is the next topic, man. Don't say that. Have some respect.
No. I have no respect for them. They won the World Cup before before yellow cards and red cards were created. That's for another conversation. But when it comes to Belgium, they're not even rated high. Like this is their golden generation. We're talking about modern day. We're saying this is their best generation they've ever had, and that team is under delivering. And we're supposed to compare it to that Belgium side.
Ziman, you are right. And Australia are like a top 3 team of all time.
No, that's not even it. What is that?
I'm agreeing with you. Australia, that's a top team.
They would probably be Belgium if we're being honest.
You're right. Yeah.
They would.
That's an amazing team. That's a quality team, man. Go for it. Continue. Continue. Go for it. Wait, so okay. Let me guess. Your idol Messi, he surpassed Maradona, obviously for you for Argentina.
I thought that was obvious. I mean, why are we having?
Well, it's not because you obviously don't know what he did in 86.
I know you. You brought this topic, so let me guess. Your talking points are you had Di Maria, man. His name is Messi Di Maria. Like, was that your talking point, or was it the fact? Oh, it's penalty.
He's called the Zeman. He's called the Angel Gabriel. Zeman, he's called the Angel Gabriel. Yeah. I've already said both points, but continue. Just make a point so we can move on to Prince Charles, man.
My point is that I don't understand what he doesn't surpass him in. He's the better player in every aspect of the game. I mean, he had a better career in club-wise. He had a better career in terms for Argentina, delivering a Copa America. So I don't understand what Maradona brings that he doesn't bring. Don't give me that. Oh, he's an icon. You don't understand for those Argentine people. Don't give me that. Don't give me that, H's. Don't give me that. Back in my days,
name me an equivalent iconic Messi Argentina moment equivalent to that Maradona goal in '86 where he dribbled past 6 players.
Are you talking about the same game where he cheated through a handball? Are we talking about the same game?
Zeman, I'll ask again.
Exactly.
Name me an equivalent Messi Argentina moment to what Maradona did. Because greatness is about iconic moments, big time moments. Messi doesn't have the same iconic moments as Maradona.
Oh my God.
There is nothing that Messi has done at a World Cup that's going to be remembered the same way that what Maradona did in '86. Nothing. And Zeman, do you know what? Because Zeman, this is the sad reality.
This is blasphemy.
What people will keep on replaying is that Mbappe goal in the World Cup final.
Oh, no,
that's what guys will be replaying.
They're gonna replay Messi lifting the World Cup.
So he wants me to rep a guy where the guy on the losing team is going to be remembered more than you who actually won.
No,
that makes no sense. That makes no sense.
At what point of history do you think losers are remembered more than winners?
Mbappe.
For real, bro. Nobody remembers losers, man.
Zeman, let's take a bet. Pinky bet. If we're still alive in 10 years' time, let's see what Wikipedia says about the 2020.
Let's see if you're alive in 10 years' time, buddy.
That's all right.
It's a good thing I didn't hear what it said, man, because it sounded like a straight
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Let me get some of these Dubinsky's, man. All right. Daddy Oos, Messi and Diego Goats.
Nah, this is amazing. Misby's got a run for his money.
What's going on?
Yeah, Daniels might be the greatest donator of all time.
No,
He's a hater, man. I gotta respect his
he is,
hate, man.
Like Misby, I think you might have been beaten because this is consistent hate. And it's funny. Here's me. I love people who hate. I'm with you, bro. If you don't hate, you're not a human being, bro. So I respect it. I respect him. Nathaniel, 5-2. Now it starts. Compare Messi's goals to Maradona. No, I said no, 5-2. Mbappe has Messi beat 5-2 when they face each other at the internationals.
Bro, why do you consider it an aggregate, bro? It's two different World Cups.
Nathaniel, everyone had France. By the way, they're 10 times more talented. No one did. No one had France.
No,
because wait, no, hold on, Zeman. These guys are trying to tell me that France without Pogba, without Kante, without Benzema, were favorites over Argentina.
They were the favorites.
Get out of here. Get out of here. No.
Their talent pool is
No.
insane,
La. I'm not.
La. You really rate Otamendi?
No, hold on. If France win the next World
I can't
Cup,
hear you. La. Nathaniel. Did Mbappe score more penalties than open plays in the final? Yes, he did. But he scored more open play goals than penalties. Nathaniel. So
we don't rate that hat trick, bro. We don't rate that hat trick.
No, here's the thing, Nathaniel. So in 2 World Cups, in 1 World Cup, Mbappe won the World Cup. Second one, he won the Golden Boot. It took Messi 5 World Cups to score a goal in the knockout stage and to eventually win a World Cup. But you want me to now put Messi over from Mbappe? Can you understand that logic?
Did Zidane score in 06?
Score? We mean in the final or in the World Cup?
In the 06 final. Did he score in the 06 final?
Yeah.
Blame Materazzi.
No, the penalty.
The penalty.
Did he score?
Panenka, yeah, absolutely.
Panenka is different. Panenka is different.
That counts as two.
Wait, to be fair,
Ricardo, you know that.
but did it cross the line?
Yes.
No, of course it crossed the line.
Yeah. No, there's no VAR, so I don't count it.
Wow.
To be honest, hold on. Messi, to be honest, Messi beat the system allegations. Meanwhile, Maradona went against individuals. Messi beat systems. See how Brazil haven't won a World Cup since. No. Scaloni. They found a great manager with a quality system, and that I think helped him and so forth.
Please, just.
All right. So are we done here? So we can now talk about Prince Charles. All right.
We won this debate.
No, you didn't. You didn't win trash, bro. Okay, I want to confess to Ricardo, since Ricardo is anti-English.
Hail Britannia.
So Ricardo, who said to me in a DM that why does Prince Charles look like the back end of a piranha? I was like, okay, that's a bit harsh. Here's my thing here. Do you know? I've always found it weird that, you know how you go into tournaments and England are always seen as favorites and so forth. It's like, okay, cool. And I said, wait, hang on. Do you know that England have only won 1 major tournament in their entire history?
They're the Tottenham of international football.
No, they're not, because they've actually won something.
That would actually be Netherlands if we're keeping it real.
Netherlands have won the Euros.
Well, that's it, bro. They haven't delivered the World Cup, which matters the most.
Because you know what I always said? Now, this may mess up my Zidane narrative. I've always said that if you're a country and the only World Cup you've won is on home soil, there's a tax there.
It's a good thing that Kate isn't here.
Wait, what? Wait, no, you can't do that. It messed up my Zidane narrative, so I'm not gonna push it.
So honestly, no. Okay, but my thing though is, okay, I want us just to get into like what is England missing from major tournaments, and why can't they be able to say what's up? What does it do? Because again, for me, look, I've always said that the problem with England is I just don't think that hence why I think that, see, for England, this is where I think they may even get closer now, because I think that because we're dealing with systems now rather than individuals, they may get closer to not even saying what's up now. Because what's always messed up in England is you just have 2 or 3 superior individuals who just mess you up. So maybe in this world of systems where a Morocco can get to a semi and a Japan can say what's up, maybe it suits England a bit more. But Ricardo, talk to me. When next do you think England can win a major tournament, and what do you think England is missing, and why they keep failing?
Man, I think the talent is there. Like I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen England have these much talented players, and probably ever. And I mean, like good talent. Like, but let's be honest, Harry Kane's a good player. Saka's a good player. Bellingham is a good one. Declan Rice is not too bad. They have good players. I think they can win a tournament, but I think it's under very, very favorable circumstances. They can only win it. It would have to be, I would say it would have to be at home, but they did lose the finals in Wembley. So I think they would just have to. I think they could actually win a tournament as long as they avoid France. If they can avoid France, I think they actually have a real shot.
So you think that because you think England could beat a Spain? They could beat.
Yeah, because honestly, Spain don't look that dominant. Like they don't look as strong. I mean, obviously they're going to be compared to the teams of the past, which is really unfair because that was a golden generation. But these next guys coming up for Spain, there's good players there, but ultimately there's no real goal threat. Like the goal threat is what they won the Nations League with Jose Lu.
Yeah.
And Morata and Ansu Fati doesn't have. Let's be honest, Ansu Fati might be finished out here, but
and Gavi.
Gavi's a passion merchant, but that's for another topic. And then so Spain, not really. Portugal, to be honest, as long as Ronaldo's there, I don't know if they'll win because they need to start learning how to play without him. Who else? Netherlands now. Germany need to get their shit together. Italy have missed the last 2 World Cups. It's really just France. I genuinely, if I'm being honest, I think England are the second best European nation. And I just think the gap between them and France is just too big. So that's why
okay, so you think that if they'd beat Italy?
Yeah.
So you think they'd beat Italy, they'd beat Spain?
Yeah, I think this last Italian team, they still had Bonucci, Chiellini, they had Verratti, they had Jorginho actually played well, if we're being honest, Barella, but the new generation of players, they're not even that good either. So I mean, Verratti's pretty much done, Chiellini's done, Bonucci doesn't have many years, Jorginho's finished out here, obviously. Chiesa, ever since that injury, like he's been a little bit inconsistent, he's been good here and there. But ultimately, the talent as a whole isn't that great. So I think that it's only France that's in their way, and that's pretty much it. So they'll win as long as they don't come against France.
So okay, so if let's say come the Euros, let's say France get knocked out early and so forth, you expect England to win it?
I would put them favorites. I think nobody can deny the talent. The talent's definitely there.
Talent is there, but I'm looking at the streets right now. Do you believe Southgate is the right guy to use the stuff? Because people said the same thing when they had Gerrard, Lampard, Bex, Joe Cole, all these dudes, Rio, Terry, and those guys. They never really had. If I correct me if I'm like, they never really had like a great manager. Now you don't necessarily need to have a great manager because you can look at Argentina. What has Scaloni really done to warrant? True, yes. You don't need a great manager in international football. This is true, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, Scaloni was just a guy who knew how to manage his men, and to be honest, he was just the cheapest option that Argentina picked just because they couldn't afford him. But like I said, their FA was trash.
Yeah.
So I think Southgate, everybody here can call him a bum, but what manager has produced the results that he has produced in recent memory?
No. I have never ever understood people's hate towards Southgate.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just when you come to knockout tournament, it's just about winning the game. It's not about how
it's not looking good. You just there to win.
Yeah,
it's about to get.
So I think they could do it.
Do you blame Southgate for that loss to France? No, you blame Kane.
Yeah, you can blame missed the penalty. Can you blame them for losing the penalty shootouts? No, they had a penalty shootout at home, and 3 players missed it. But it is.
And then again, so you can look at the game. So yeah, penalty shootouts, 3 players missed.
I think
Kane missed his penalty. Yeah, so was it a tactical mess up from Southgate in those games? No,
I don't think
individual
so.
mistakes.
I don't think so. I think sometimes you can always look back on England's campaign, just speak on it revisionist. Like they did what they did at the end of the day. If they make a great sub and they win by that, then you're gonna say, "Oh, great on Southgate." But if he makes a bad sub and they lose, well, bad on him. It's all revisionist at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, yeah, because France is just they're so talented, they're so good. Like I think they're gonna win the next Euros, and as long as if somehow they implode, I don't see a team that could really.
I don't know, man. It's like for me, Look at how good France were in those last series. Okay, look, let me come to Ziman. Ziman, what are you saying about England, man?
Like I said, when it comes to England, I think they're top 4 when it comes to just purely talent-wise. Just pure talent. I think they're more talented than a lot of nations. They're more talented than Spain, Belgium, all those other nations, just purely based on talent. But I think their one biggest problem is the thing about them is I think your Southgate got them set up right. Like I think playing with the double pivot, playing with the the 3-man back line, I think he got them set up right. Even their fullbacks, they have incredible options when it comes to fullbacks. Even trying Trent in the midfield, so they have quality there. It's just a problem of mentality with these guys. That's one thing. I think they buckle under pressure way too easily. Like
I mean,
I see them in like harsh moments where it's a penalty shootout. You just need that level of resilience mentally to deal with it. And I feel like to a certain extent, I think this team is better than the golden generation. I'm keeping it real. Not in terms of talent. You could say that they had individual talent, but
but as a unit, as a team as well, yes.
As a unit. And I do think the manager is better because let's be honest, like the golden generation had Paul Scholes hogging the flank, bro. Like it didn't make any sense. Like
no, but you know what it was? I think it was media pressure of Gerrard and Lampard have to play. Whereas I know Scholes was the best player out of those midfielders, and Scholes should have been the main midfielder. So
he was their most talented player, and that aspect, I don't think. I think Gareth Southgate has done well in terms of just creating a base of players that have consistently played with each other in tournaments. Now this is the point where it's deliver. And as much as we want to say, you know what, Gareth Southgate has done a wonderful job so far. He's reached the semifinals, which he lost to. I'm gonna be honest. 2018, like I don't think that England side was that great. I think they come up against opponents that were easy for them to knock out just purely based on talent. And once they they came up against someone that's actually, you know,
good. No, it's true. Belgium beat them twice. Like England, like this England team with Saka and Jude Bellingham was much better than that England team in 2018.
Yeah. I felt like I felt like, you know, when it comes to, yes, they have more talented than all these other nations, but once they come up against these nations, it's no longer about how you look, you know, in the team sheet, like what qualities you have in the team. At that point, it's just it's about resilience, and I don't think they have that. And I'm gonna be honest, Gareth Southgate has to deliver. Like I don't think he's gonna keep his post, because at some moment you have to refresh. At some moment you have to be like, you know what, this isn't working. Let's try to bring another manager, preferably, you know, English.
Well, I think, look, see, that's actually a great thing, because let's say they go into the Euros and they don't win. Do you refresh, start from scratch before the World Cup? I think most people, because see, my thing though is, see, my angle is, if Southgate ain't going to do it, no one else will. Because when you look at these situations right now, it's down to the players. They lost to Croatia because Croatia just had the better players and the better team. There was nothing you could do tactically, strategically. It's just about, you just have to have. And again, you look at that Croatia game, Kane makes the pass to Sterling. You go up 2-0, who knows? You look at the Euros game, 3 guys missed a penalty. You look at the France game, Kane missed his penalty. So so what? How will a new manager change that? See, you only do this in a way like, man, look at that mess up you made. Look at that sub you made. But it's like, no, you've not gone out because the manager has made bad statistical decisions. You've gone out because players have messed up.
Yeah. But I also think that in international, especially in international, compared to club football, it's a moment of, you've been to, you know, 2 tournaments. Now you're going to your 3rd tournament, 4th tournament, and at some moment you have to think of, you know what, man, we have another generation coming up. We're not delivering on any trophies at all. We keep making it, but every single time we come up against a competent team, we tend to have problems against them, even though we have more quality. At some moment, let's be honest, man, managers tend to bury, you know, they tend to get blamed. They're the easiest people, because you're not going to blame the players you keep selecting. You can't blame these players because you don't have to select them. So it comes to that moment. And I feel like when it comes to international stage,
You don't need a tactician, man. Let's look at the managers international stage. How much of them are tacticians? This is low end.
Like basically, there is no manager that anyone truly rates. No one rates Scaloni. No one rates Didier Deschamps. No one rates any of these guys. Just that's why international football. That's why it's so different from club football, because it's just about finding the right elements of the team. So who else wants to pop it in this whole England thing? SM. SM, go for it.
Yeah, HH. When it comes to England and their chances of winning the Euros, I think, as Ricardo said, if they don't face France, then they're the favourites, because Portugal are going to stick with Cristiano Ronaldo even for the World Cup. So no, I'm not laughing, but England should.
SM, why? So what's good now? There's now a hindrance.
Listen. It's just the truth, okay? But with England, the issue is that, like take the Euros final. Okay, you go up in 2 minutes. Okay, it's unexpected, but you have momentum at home. What you don't do is play like you're Bournemouth and put 9 players at the back. Like that's just wrong. You don't do that. But apart from that, it's still the players' fault for missing the penalties.
Yes.
I think with Southgate, what he has done good, as I think Z-Man said, is that unlike the 2000s Golden Generation team, there aren't any egos on this side that are ruining the base, because people forget that at that time, those United, Arsenal, Chelsea players, they didn't like each other. They didn't want to be there whatsoever. Yeah. So people can gas up the Premier League at that time, but it really hurt the brand of English football, and also led them to not qualifying in 2007 as well. So I think that for England, if they don't win the Euros, it's not, I won't say it's the end of the world per se, but if you don't win in 2024, then you have to deliver in 26, and that's even harder.
So if they don't win in 2024, do you sack Southgate?
I mean, I wouldn't sack him, because it feels, I don't know to explain this, but if you sack him before the World Cup, like, are you going to entice, like, who are you going to entice? Because the best England manager other than Southgate now is Eddie Howe, but he's dealing with Newcastle. So you're in a predicament now where he is literally your best choice. And in 2024 in Germany as well, which would be, great for the narrative, like, you can win it. But the problem is, actually, like, when England played France, I knew they're going to get knocked out because they don't have the mentality to beat them. Like, even the France game, like, they were scared to go at them and actually go attack and do anything.
No, see, that France game, I was shocked by how well actually England approached that game, because England did not lose that game because they were afraid or so forth. They stepped to France, and I thought at moments they were playing better than France. England lost because Kane missed that penalty, and the head shoulders just dropped.
But you can't have that though. Like, you can't do that over and over again and say, "Oh well, it is what it is," because that's like me saying, "Oh, we should just let Man City away."
No. But SM, so what's the solution? Is the solution that's okay? You now need to maybe a different manager will now change the mentality, because see, my thing is, you see, if you take Wembley away and home soil tax away, I find it hard to make a compelling argument for England going all the way through. Not because they don't have the talent. England have the talent. They have one of the most talented squads. But it's the point that Aziman made. It's that mentality and psychology. Is that, do they have that mentality in those key games to be able to now say what's up?
Here's the thing. I'll say this. If you need your home stadium to win an international trophy, then you don't deserve to win. I'm sorry. If France can do it in Russia, if Argentina can do it in Qatar, there's no excuse. You're playing in Germany. Like, it's not that far. Like, most of these players have played there as well. So I don't understand the excuse.
No, but England is like, their thing is like...
they're sentimental merchants. That's what.
Shout out to Hamza thinking that England's strength is sentimentality, though. That is their strength.
Sentimentality doesn't win you trophies. Like, you need actual players who have the bot. I mean, actually, there are. I don't know. Like, apart from the Man City players, like, how many of these players actually have won for, like, their clubs? Like, it's not that many of them. So I don't know. It's like they need to do something meaningful. Like, if they don't reach the final, then it's a disappointment. Again.
Wait, HH, can I?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, go for it.
I mean, I always look at England. This is pre-Southgate as well. Whenever we see England against a good team, I've seen so many people say England played well, but they always lost out on the key moments. England are playing well merchants. England are, we tried hard, we glorify failure merchants. The problem with these guys is whenever they play a team that has decent players, good players, these guys always get the short end of the stick. These guys are somehow never able to kind of say, we have an advantage here, let's press that advantage and let's dominate the key moments. France are the best team in the world because France go far not because they dominate every game. France go far because they dominate the key moments. What moments, when the moments are there, they win the game based on those moments. England are the epitome of a team that plays well, passes the ball around, has possession, but then when it comes to scoring the clutch equalizer, scoring a clutch penalty, these guys can't do it. So for me, as much talent as these guys have, I always find it hard to believe them in an international tournament because you have all that talent, we have all these good players, but even the players who won trophies for their clubs. Remember that second French goal for Giroud? It wasn't Maguire, it was John Stones, a guy who we all universally claimed this season was one of the best center backs, if not the best center back in the world, who lost his man. That's the issue.
I also see my thing because someone said someone said in the streets that England are the second most talented side. And my thing is, okay, you can put talents out there, but again, let's use the whole thing of Harry Kane. People did not give Harry Kane enough grief for what he did in that World Cup. I'm sorry, that's a major moment. Because people's arguments was like, the pressure of taking yet another penalty and everything. But then Mbappe completely dispelled that crap by scoring 3 penalties against the best keeper at that World Cup, as opposed to Lloris, who was easily the worst keeper at that World Cup. So my thing, though, is you have to... I think this is the issue with England. They don't hold specific individuals enough to task. And I think that it's like, you see, when you look at for someone like... You see, when I look at those penalties, you can't put blame on Saka. Or Sancho, really. You have to put blame on Rashford. Because Rashford, you're older, you are the designated penalty taker for Manchester United, and you should score that penalty. Harry Kane, you are seen as one of the greatest strikers of their generation for England. You should score both of those penalties against the worst keeper at that World Cup.
And
but when that happened, I'm like, okay, he missed it. It is what it is.
Here's the thing. Harry Kane, if he has that penalty in a qualifier match against France, he scores that. Marcus Rashford, if he has that same penalty at a qualifier match or at a group stage game against Italy, he scores that. It's not that they can't score penalties. It's that these guys can't take advantage of the key moments. That's why I don't think there'll even be a Spain or an Italy. They might have all the chances against Spain. They're not going to score any of it. Spain will have one chance and they'll score that one chance. That's the difference here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so I growing up with England, growing up watching England, I was what I called an England apologist. But then over time and then just growing into the game and doing the research, if anything, we gotta start from the bottom. I put the biggest blame I put is on the FA. Yes, I'm blaming the governing body. Now, there's a quote and there's a saying in England, and J2S and SM, correct me if I'm wrong, if he's in here. They say the England manager is the most criticized person after the prime minister. Am I wrong?
That's close. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to England, so
me neither, bro. Me neither.
Exactly. So they say he is the most criticized person after the prime minister. The biggest thing for me with England is that environment from top to bottom is too toxic and too toxic for a group to succeed.
It's weak as hell, man.
But is that still true now? Do you think it's still true now?
No. I'll get there. I'm saying that because that's in a way let's say people been mentioning the golden generation. Obviously, I think one of the guys, I forgot who said that, but obviously we know with the golden generation, the biggest issue was egos. your Uniteds, your Chelseas, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, your Tottenhams, those players, even those guys have mentioned it themselves. The reason why they couldn't win is because there was no cohesion between themselves. On the contrary, with this group, there is cohesion with these guys. My thing is, and another thing that bothers me, is the lack of a finishing mentality or a killer mentality. England doesn't really know how to kill off games. If it's against the minnows, oh, absolutely, you can do that. But even at this World Cup, honestly, we didn't really see, I mean, maybe Wales because of British tax. And the biggest thing was the one game that actually also blew my mind was the USA game. If England just scores one, I don't think the US gets back. Doesn't do anything.
They literally dominated them.
Ricardo, stop it. Ricardo,
what, man?
Grow up. I didn't even say anything. And then let's also be honest. And then going back to my beginning statement when I mentioned the toxicity is because that the FA always tends to hire yes men and puppets. Let's be really honest. You think a Pep would be an England manager? I think he'd be a great fit, but I don't think he'd be England manager. You think maybe Zidane would be an England manager? Hell no, because they're too demanding, and the FA doesn't like people who are demanding. Okay, and then once again, going back to this killer mentality, England does not have that. And when
but I think but what I'll say is that, you see, I think because we're living in a world of systems now, and there are less individuals.
Yeah,
I think these next two editions is the best chance England have of actually winning something.
Yeah.
Because I feel outside of France,
there's a better chance next year than there is in 2026 HS. Because remember, the World Cup is expanded. So it's more complicated.
What are we rating the Falkland Islands?
Yeah, but see, that's like, okay, even if
no, I'm not talking about in terms of teams. I'm talking in terms of scheduling, because you're not playing 7 games to get to a final. You're playing possibly 8. You know, because
but even if it's one extra game though, it's what is the talent pool like out there? Because we all agree, okay, France have this crazy talent. We assume Messi won't be around in 2026. I don't think Neymar is going to be around with that beer belly in 2026.
Cristiano.
So
wait, can we just make it very clear? Can we let Neymar just cheat in peace, man? We let him cheat in peace.
Oh, relax.
Congratulations,
relax.
Congratulations. Yeah, honestly,
but think about it. What did that girl expect?
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about adultery, bro. This is half ups adultery. This is not half ups adultery.
Expecting Neymar to
Elijah, can you just talk over this?
There's a baby girl as well, so
Elijah, can you talk about this?
No ring on her.
Generational talent.
Elijah, can you please talk?
And then for me, just for me, because like somebody who works in like in the front office and stuff like that, like for me, I think that people, like the people who work in the background, also play a role. That's why I'm saying that like the FA is way too toxic, and at times it shows its head. If you have a governing body that lets you run the show, like if they let Southgate run the show like he should run it, England should be successful, in my opinion. Oh my God, adultery hut. Oh wow. And if you look at other countries, you know, for example, like France and I can't say Germany anymore, really. But France, like they let Deschamps do his thing. You know, there's no meddling around. There's no hands-on. England's FA is way too handsy with this.
Casey, what are you saying, bro, about England and whether they can win a major trophy? And please be respectful. Don't be rude.
Here we go with the hate, man.
Yeah, listen, with England, right? I think they're bumps. They're never going to do anything. For me, listen. For me, what happened? Like I grew up like 2002, 2006, 2010, and the media in my country was like completely this English golden generation. I always saw them getting absolutely destroyed by any decent midfield. And it's the same with this. And it's the same with this midfield. Like if you think a midfield of Mount, Rice, Bellingham, or any other guy you want to add in is going to do anything, whatever. Like, by the way, Phillips. 2 years ago, this guy was called the Yorkshire Pirlo. this thing, like they
prominent, man.
Yeah, they
that's crazy. Man.
No, but
that sentence should be banned. The Yorkshire Pillow.
Have a problem. They always do this. They always like overhype their players. Like, I mean, honestly, like they don't have any world class players except for John Stones, and I think Kyle Walker used to be one, but I think like he's getting old right now.
Oh, so you say Kane isn't world class?
No, but Kane has world class. No, Kane has world class potential, but it's the same. Like the guy has never done anything whenever like pressure is on. Like why? Oh, okay. It's Tottenham. Like, and what about with England then? Like every single time there's an excuse for this guy. Every single time, bro. Why don't we speak about how he performed against Milan in the Champions League round of 16? It's always like, oh, it's Spurs, it's England, it's this, it's that. Like I have never seen a player more protected than this guy. This guy has Immobile has a better legacy than him. If you want to be completely honest. If you want to be completely honest, Immobile has a better legacy than this guy. But like this guy somehow,
I'm just saying because Chiro Immobile has a Euros.
Belotti has a better legacy than him. And
okay, Casey. Let's.
Casey,
we're not repping the Italian ego, bro. Okay, we're not repping the Italian ego. We're not doing that, bro.
But this is the same thing. Like they always do this. They will hype up, like when Conor Gallagher was playing for Crystal Palace, they were hyping up this guy. Even your brother was hyping him up. And this is what I'm telling you. This is why I'm like almost like I have a feeling that Rice is gonna flop because I just don't see any difference between Rice at West Ham and Gallagher at Crystal Palace. They hype up these like mid-table players and they pretend and they think that they're gonna do anything. Like no, it's not.
Okay, so you're saying that England have no chance of winning a major tournament anytime soon?
Listen, it's cup tournament. Everyone has a chance, but I won't put them as favorites. No.
Yeah, can I speak on this as well?
What's it called? J2S.
Yeah, the problem is their mentality because whenever England come up against a big team, the Frances, the Spains, when you look at the South American teams, the Brazils, and they can't get past that stage. They're more likely to find Madeline McCann than for England to win a major trophy.
Okay, that's the other.
Okay, that's crazy. All right.
I mean, did I say anything wrong?
She's been gone for years.
But aren't they still finding? Aren't they still searching for?
Okay, let's just keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah, the whole thing with Southgate is he's a decent manager because international football was different to club football because he wouldn't get a manager's job. He wouldn't get a manager's job at like an Aston Villa or Middlesbrough or West Ham. But in the England setup, it works. But when you look at the Croatia game and the Italy game in the Euros, especially the Italy game in the Euros, because they went 1-0 up after I think it was.
Okay, that's great. Guys, you're so worried that Hugo Lloris is going to save you a penalty. You feel the need to send that ball into the next into Doctor Strange's universe to go through. But see, that's basically people don't call us up for it. If it's Emi Martinez, I get it. It's Lloris.
Just
put it on target because he ain't gonna save it. Put it on. Pick a spot. Put it on target. It's a goal.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say for that is probably because it was the same club, but even that doesn't make any sense.
For me, it doesn't matter.
But that's the only reason I can think.
My thing though is that I think it just showed you that it was nerves, and he was just like, you know what, just smack it. And obviously, if you get it, okay, cool, but it's still risky though.
Harry Kane is the captain of England, is he? He is, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
If Immobile and Belotti have won more trophies in England than Harry Kane has, so that just says everything about his legacy.
Yeah, look,
I mean that's his fault.
Wait. Yeah, Mace, go for it. And Mace, go for it. Thoughts on England, man.
No, I think everyone's right when they talk about the mentality, but I think the big reason why is because of the media itself. What English players love to do is that the media will wrap up the English players and they'll gloss over all of their back. Continue. Now, as I was saying, the media will gloss over all the failures of the English players and they'll dress it up so that way mentally they don't really face any criticism. Go look at Modric. Modric went to Real Madrid, had a terrible year, and the Spanish media killed him for it. And then what happened? He went away for the summer, worked, and he got himself mentally stronger, improved, and now he's one of the best midfielders of all time off of what he did at Madrid. I think Bellingham's probably the first one to do it, where he's gone somewhere outside of his comfort zone, where there's going to be pressure onto him. He's probably the only person. But you go look at everyone else. They're all playing in the Premier League. They're all playing they're all playing in front of the English media, and they all love to protect their own players. So the pressure's never really going to come. So mentally, when they fail, they don't get that pressure. Like, people are saying about Kane, he has that 30-goal season. Oh, he still had a great season for Spurs. But ultimately, it doesn't mean anything. And they just dress it up because it's another goal-scoring season for Harry Kane.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man. I mean,
Can I just say this? There's this myth that I think Elijah pointed out, that there's this belief that because English players couldn't play with each other, like Rio and Terry or
because due to the rivalries.
Okay,
But
but this is an excuse. Why not say that Lampard, Slippy were just not good enough? Why not say that? You think? Hold on. No. Why? You think? Hold on. Have. There's no. I'm not kidding.
You can't call a grown man sleepy. You can't.
Okay. Have. If you read Italian history, right, there's no bigger rivalry than Northern Italy and Southern Italy. Totti is from like Rome, which is borderline Southern Italy. And he played with like North Italian.
This is where I'm with you though. I have never used it as like, the reason why no.
Yeah.
You just were not good enough. Because what you're not going to do be like, if we had a manager who sorted out our rivalries, because here's the rule.
Yeah.
There is no greater rivalry than Barca and Real Madrid.
Yeah, and Casillas, Ramos played
Del Bosque even said that was one of the main things he had to deal with, which was the Real and Barca issues.
No, but it was more so the players actually handle it themselves, unlike Rio and them guys. So my
thing is, don't say that the United-Liverpool rivalry was more intense than the Barca-Real Madrid rivalry.
No,
don't do that.
Why not? And by the way, this is like peak Calciopoli. There were Juve players and Inter players in that Italy team. Yeah. Bro, like, what are you talking about? And why can't they just say they were simply not good enough, which is a fact?
I mean, the manager was trash too. Like,
no. Okay, see, here's the thing. This is what I don't like.
Well, everyone wasn't.
So say that Sven-Goran Eriksson is a garbage manager.
No, but if you put Scholes left mid, then that's just weird, isn't it?
No, but see, this is the issue. See, I don't blame Eriksson for that. I blame the media for it because the media pushed forth this agenda that Gerrard Lampard. When no, Scholes will be your best player. Even more so. If Joe Cole was in Spain, he's seen as a huge talent. Joe Cole, Brazil, talent. England is one of the few countries where you have a talent like a Joe Cole. And somehow he's just some guy out on the left, but the focus is on Lampard. If you have a guy of the ability and talent level of Joe Cole, that is your golden child. That is your guy. But England's biggest mistake was buying into the myth of Gerrard and Lampard when it was known that Gerrard and Lampard were only good because the foreign players around them at their clubs. They were never great in and of themselves.
You know what didn't make sense for them? I feel like Carrick was like he was underrated as a midfielder. I felt like he was the person that could hold them together in terms of being that central line playmaker along with someone like a Paul Scholes. But the problem with the Steven G and Lampard midfield, bro, you have let's be honest, Lampard is out here trying to run forward, and then Steven G's left himself getting picked apart, and it's just like that midfield never really clicked. And they never really had a solution for that.
And Hal, this is why I don't like when they but they should admit that Southgate has been their best manager in 50-60 years. Because he actually understands English football, and which is very good, which is good defensive football. It's look at the game against France. England was the better team. Walker absolutely destroyed that pace abuser. Absolutely pocketed that disgusting pace abuser.
I don't understand people's hate. I don't understand people's hate towards Southgate. Where's England don't play attractive football. That's not in their culture. So you say, take the bricks off. Let's be more attacking. Okay, be more attacking, and you get destroyed because that's not England's nature. England's nature is defensively strong, pragmatic, tough to break down, and you take your opponents. England don't outplay teams. That's not in their nature. So my thing that Southgate is doing the best is he's basically the issue was, and this is what I've always said. This is why Brazil are going to run into the same issue. Brazil, you're going to go into Ancelotti and you're going to fail because England said, we need like a top manager.
I think they need Ancelotti. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
No, he'll fail.
This might be the best moment.
I will guarantee you that he is not going to. I promise you, because don't give me a call from America. Ancelotti is not winning a World Cup with Brazil. It's not happening. I can guarantee you that's not happening. You can only succeed with somebody who understands the culture of your football.
Just to give you an example. Just to give you an example, right? Like these guys were begging Southgate to play 4-3-3 before the World Cup. He played a 4-3-3 of like a midfield of Gallagher, Phillips, and Bellingham. And again, this is before like there was Gallagher hype. This is in last year, June. He played against Hungary, lost 4-0. Super attacking football, completely got destroyed. But when he turned to defensive football in the World Cup, they did pretty well.
No, defensive football wins you the World Cup.
And they were very good. England was very good in the World Cup.
But it's the individuals that don't take their chances.
Okay, so let me make it so quick, Dubinsky's man. So, from political thoughts, England have talent, but no killer mentality. Talent alone can't win in a knockout tournament. 2000s, they had a mentality, but couldn't play as a cohesive unit. I disagree. I think 2000s, the defense had the mentality, but the attackers did not. Because I remember that Portugal game in 2006 where Gerrard and Lampard, they were right next to the keeper. They were scared. So I was going to say, wait a minute, how can he be defending in the first half? So my thing though is, I feel this generation of England, I think, have a stronger mentality than those guys of before. Who I think that those guys of before had a lot more pressure based on what Gerrard was, what Lampard was, because those guys were seen as such amazing individuals. They had a lot more pressure, as opposed because again, people are not saying that Jude Bellingham, Rice, Mount are better than Gerrard, Lampard, Becks, and Scholes. So because they were Gerrard, Lampard, Becks, and Scholes, there was so much expected of them. I don't think the expectation with these guys is much. So these guys are not dealing with as much pressure as those guys because those guys, as we saw, couldn't handle the pressure. Due to the pressure, they got scared. And when you're scared, what do? You defend. And you go in deep whenever you defend. So
No, but that's because of Southgate. Like he actually knows how to handle the media. Unlike, I think, previous managers.
Yeah,
Albert Cardenius. Sorry, can't rate Messi until he uses coke. Oh, wow. This is true. Coke tax, man. Are you taking Bobby Robson or Southgate as manager? Bobby Robson.
Bobby Robson, yeah.
Bobby Robson.
He's a better manager.
Yeah, he's a much better manager. But again,
but England don't have that though. So like,
let's not on Southgate. He's doing the best with the camp with what he has.
He's doing okay.
Women's goal surprised everyone repping England talent. Why? Attack, yes. Defense, not so much. Midfield, hell no. We know tournaments are won on the midfield battle. I mean, Zeman, you're a midfield merchant. Do you think this is why England will struggle? Because
no, I gotta be honest. Like, yes, I'm a midfield merchant. I like my midfielders in England. Don't like they're not my type of team. But if I'm in terms of effectiveness, I mean, you have the players to play counter-attacking football. I'm not going to try to deny you guys don't have players like that. You have Rashford and Sterling who actually do well, and then you also have someone that could pick up passes like a Harry Kane who's creative. The problem with them is, yes, they don't have a midfielder. Particularly, I'm gonna be honest, they have no one that can control a game like in their midfield. Majority of them are hot potato merchants. But the modern game, the modern game is just full of counterattacks and like playing defensive. That's what wins you competitions. I don't think they have to be out and out.
No, that's right. You don't need to control. I think. Look, we are living in a different generation of football right now. I don't think you need. Basically, look at what England did against France. France's midfield was way so superior, but England found a way to pretty much, what I believe, control that game, even though that they couldn't control the midfield.
Nah,
so my thing though is
the midfield are like similar. I think Griezmann, France had just Griezmann. He's just
They had
that was his first. No, but that I am not going to respond on the last.
I gotta be
but
honest.
That was his first tournament though. for 2 minutes.
No. The difference is, I'll be honest, France has a better midfield selection.
Emma's right.
England.
All you need, England have a functional midfield. That's the thing. Like, also, Rice ain't controlling a game. Mount ain't controlling a game. Jude Bellingham ain't controlling a game. But these guys are very functional and effective. And all that matters is, can you be effective and can you be functional? You don't need to control. Just be effective enough to win a game.
Yeah, that's all they need.
Yep.
All right. So last topic here, man. So this is a question that we keep on being I asked because the World Cup has always been won by either Europe, South America, South America. So shout out to Senegal beating Brazil 4-2. Shout out to the boy Balogun getting his first goal for the US of A. Actually, so did America beat Canada in that game?
Yeah.
They won. So my thing though is, what is, because I said this for a long time that I always believe that Mexico would be the first non-South American European team to win. Bro, Mexican football has gone down to the
It's dry, man. It's dry, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's
No.
really dry.
Those guys are down. So, because I remember when this is show like Gold Cup when I was in Nigeria, and Mexico always used to beat America every single time. This is when America were like trash, So Mexico would just beat them all the time. So now, like, you could arguably say that America is probably better than Mexico now. And I think this is probably the first time in a long time where America are categorically better than Mexico. Where Mexico usually were always the superior team. And I think you're looking at Africa and it's like, it's weird though, because we don't have the Etso, the Okocho. Guys, check out, there was a match between Ronaldinho's team and Roberto Carlos' team. Bro, did you see Okocho's goal?
Yeah, that was nice, man. It
was nice. It was godly. That's also called technique.
Is that why you tried to? Is that why?
Why is guy? I didn't ask you to.
Is that why you tried to replicate on?
So here's
overrated as fuck, honestly, but okay.
Wait, who's overrated?
I mean, he is, but he's technical, bro. He got the lala.
No, Z-Man, he taught Dino, man. He taught Dino.
He taught Dino everything.
What did he teach Dino, bro?
He held seminars. He held seminars to Dino.
So Ricardo.
Yeah.
If you were to pick a team that this is going to be the first non-European South American team to win the World Cup, first off, do you think it comes from Africa, from North America, or Asia, and who do you think it will be?
Not Nigeria.
That was unwarranted. Not that I say I disagree, but to be honest, I don't really care, but I do feel like, I hope in my lifetime I do wish I do see a nation win the World Cup that isn't South American or European, because I think that would be like a beautiful thing. Shout out Disney Plus. But does it happen? It's a bit complicated, because to be honest, I would love to see Africa win a World Cup, but it's kind of hard when they play for Europe. So I don't know. I think
I mean, looking at what Morocco did, looking at what Japan did, looking at the fact that football is now much about systems now and teams now, which means that the gap is now shortened. And now we don't produce more individuals. We now produce systems now, because that weaker team who can't produce that exceptional individual, they will always lose. So that's European and South American team who has 3 or 4 of these individuals. But if this European and South American teams are not producing as many of these individuals and are more focused on systems, it makes it a much more of a level playing field. So do you think in that aspect, these guys can be like, okay, if we just have a really good coaching, great strategy and system, it gives us a strong argument. Hence why we saw what Japan and Morocco did.
Honestly, I feel like to be honest, in Asia, what's the nation that represents best Asia? I would say probably Japan. Like Japan.
Yeah.
Japan and maybe Saudi Arabia sometime.
China.
No.
I think it's Japan. I think South Korea have fallen. It's mainly Japan. I think Japan are at the forefront now.
I think like Africa, like there's a lot of nations there that could say have a great World Cup and just win. Like, you think of some of your North African countries, obviously your West African countries. I don't know about the rest of the continent, but that's mainly where the stronger teams come from. And then in North America, bro, honestly, if I'm saying like I'm 27 now. If I'm saying 50 years, like I can't lie, bro. United States, they in 50 years, I think that's a good enough time for them to say what's up. Like,
wait, hold up. You're saying
Not
it's
with
going to take
Brady in
50
charge,
years for Trump to say what's up?
no, think about it. Like, how many World Cups are in 50 years? Like maybe
Who's a mathematician?
12 World Cups.
12.
11, 12 World Cup.
Whoa,
Like,
okay, relax.
so I would say, like,
Bro, that wasn't that difficult, bro. Relax.
if you think about it,
Yeah.
if you think about it,
Small World Tag.
if we're keeping a stack, USA, they have the best athletes in the world. That's not up for debate. Now, I know football is not a sport that's just based on athleticism, but you give them enough time, you give the popularity of the sport.
Oh, yeah, 50 divided by 4, yeah. I know. Okay, sorry.
What?
Oh my god.
Nah, drop the brick, bro. Nah, you gotta drop it. Nah, bro, drop the brick.
Continue, Ricardo.
Nah, bro, drop the
Continue.
brick.
I want to know the name of the school you go to.
Drop the whole
Ricardo
building, bro. Drop the
Oyema,
whole
can you
building.
continue?
Okay.
Mr. Oyema, can you please continue? Thanks.
But I just don't see how, if I'm just putting logic in big 2023, in 50 years from now, based on the way football is trending, I hate to say it. Look, Oceania, whatever, as a continent, I don't really count it, to be honest, because they're just there for, I guess, geopolitical reasons. But I honestly think Africa. I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. I think in a North American and an Asian team might actually win it before Africa. And honestly, I'll be honest, bro.
No, but Ricardo, okay, you say this, though, but like, okay, so the furthest an Asian team went was 0-2. And we all know what happened in 0-2.
Yeah,
so basically, so that's messed up. If you look at what Morocco did, beating Portugal, beating Spain, and they only lost to France. Was it 1-0? No, sorry, 2-0.
2-0.
But it was 1-0 until like the very last few minutes. So don't you think that, okay, look at the strides that have been made there? Because see, for me, I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm keeping it real. I'm looking at those North African sides.
Sure, I mean, yeah,
because I think like, and do you know why I'm looking at the North African sides? They are better as a team than the West. See, for West Africans, we're always about the individual talents.
Yeah.
So your Drogba, Yaya Toure,
but
Eto'o, and so forth.
To me, what rubs me the wrong way is that it's just that these African teams, they're not even the best players of their country. Like, we're seeing it a lot of times now where, like, if those African descent players, if they can't get into the nation, the big old European nation, all right, bro, let's go to Africa.
Yeah.
So that to me doesn't sit well with me. Like, that just shows you you're not really about that country. You're just want to play at an international tournament.
Because like what, like it's like example, Shola Ameobi, he striker obviously tried to go in for England, didn't happen. And he jumped on the bandwagon of the 2014 World Cup. And I was like, wait, mate, what are you doing? So because you want to just be at a World Cup, you're like, hey, guys, I'm Nigerian, by the way. Hey, my name is Shola. Hello.
Yeah.
But do you know why Africa is... do you know why I say Africa is X'd out? And when we look at North Africa, is because so many... Look at 2018 World Cup. That was seen as a Euro-African victory, you know?
Yeah.
So Africa's best talents are not playing for their countries. They are playing for the European teams. So West Africa is screwed.
Yeah, that is true. Mind you that, I mean, I know a lot of people say it's like a Euro-African World Cup victory. I mean, those players were born in those countries, so I think it's a little different.
I'm just trying to just leech on.
No, I get it, because my brother says the same thing. He's like, man, that's not France's World Cup. That's an African World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, this doesn't work like that. But anyways, that's the one thing why I can't see Africa win it as much as I want them to, because I think it will be great for the continent. Because I don't know, maybe if Africa wins a World Cup, do those players who constantly want to play for those European teams, are they like, should we play for these, or should we go, bring more glory to Africa? It could be one of those things. I don't know. But I think with the United States, bro, athletically, nobody can compete with these guys. If they just get their infrastructure right, if they don't make the sport so goddamn expensive in the country, bro. And they have a huge pool of like athletes.
And we've said this all the time. America should be the first non-South American country because it's right there. When you look at the level of immigration, the level of money, infrastructure, it's right there. America just doesn't care enough.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
That's the ultimate truth. Because even if you look at the women's, I know women's football is a bit like not up to par, but if you just look at if America does care, bro, the women's football and the American women's, they're significantly light speed better than like majority of countries who actually care. So that kind of shows you if America actually cares, they'll do well, and that wouldn't be any different towards the men's side of things if they care to the same degree. But I think for Asia, like Japan, like honestly, the reason why I think Japan, my brother always tells me this, like there's a level of cultural influence in football. For example, if you look at the Germans, they're a very disciplined group of society. If you look at the way they played football, they've always been very
organized. Yeah.
They've always been a very, very disciplined group of people, and they've obviously, when you mix up with talent, great coaching, infrastructure, bro, you're gonna get results. I think Japan is one of those countries another country that's culturally very disciplined. They're probably gonna keep doing great things, but I mean, obviously the talent is lacking in terms on the world stage, but they've had some quality players that are coming through, and if I think South Korea could actually make a resurgence because they're having quite a bit of talent in La Liga, even Serie. So they could be on the come up as well.
So if you have to put money on, you're saying that who? Okay, you have to put money on. This is going to be the first non-South American European country to win the World Cup.
I really don't want this to happen, but I think it's going to be the United States.
Hey, can you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be United States.
What did you say?
Jesus Christ! What the hell?
That's a break. Yes,
yeah,
and the home of the brave. So what are you saying? First,
don't include that in the album, man. Don't include it.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was ass, man.
Wait, is it by the Don's early nights? What's that? I don't know what the second line is.
Yeah, just move on, bro.
Just move on.
Shout out Whitney Houston, man.
Why are you being like that?
So, bro, I got two players. I got two players in this game. As much as I would love to see Sri Lanka lift the World Cup, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen in my life.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's the World Cup.
Oh dear!
That's it, man.
That's gonna be something.
Ziman, you can't talk because that's pretty hard.
Yeah, Ziman, we're on the same boat, Ziman. We're on the same boat.
Okay. Hold on, guys. This is an international hangout and everything. Wait, so Somalia, India, have they made the World Cup?
No,
India. Why are you bringing up? No, why is India?
Why are you bringing up India?
What's in?
YSK is representing Sri Lanka. He says Sri Lanka is not going to sit. I'm saying Somalia. Let's talk India. I think we've got Dutch here. We've got Congo here.
India
we've got Iran here. So basically, so he says, okay, if not Sri Lanka, who else are you repping?
Well, no. See, the other half is Mexican, but then, bro, we've been a joke side, like. When your boy Chicharito, a guy called Chicharito is been your best player for the last decade, bro. Then there's
no, come on, he was a baller though. He was a baller.
No, of course, no, but baller is pushing it. He was a super sub merchant, like that's what he was. And then all the best players really just played in MLS, and then there's
That's actually facts,
Wait,
man.
oh
That's
no. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
That's actually facts, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
That's why I want to put somebody on the fucking hats, man. That's weird, bro. Oh, I put them in the hats, bro.
So, see, I think 50 years, like what Ricardo said. I think for the next 3 decades, Yeah, it's bro. It's like, it actually hurts talking about, because Sri Lanka, like, I just kind of, I don't even mention them in football topics. Like, they're not even.
No. But for a long time, I always said that. Oh no, Mexico, they have to be because when growing up, they were always like the best non-South American European team. So, oh no,
Yeah.
if it's going to be team, it's going to be Mexico. But they couldn't get past around the 16 hump, and suddenly they're just there in a pool where it's like these guys. Like Mexico this year were just bad. This is the worst Mexico team I've ever seen at the World Cup.
The problem.
Well, how are they better than USA?
Because USA was just trash.
USA should have reached the 2002 semifinal.
I'm
02 semifinal. By the way.
Oh yeah,
no,
true.
the States were just
ball tax. The Germans.
yeah, the state, bro. The States. It wasn't really. I mean, towards, like, if you're talking recently, and I mean like the last 10, 20 years, it wasn't because Mexico had like an abundance of talented players or anything. USA was just trash. Like they've had. I mean, you talk about the guys that they had, apart from like Donovan and Dempsey and those dudes. They didn't really have anybody like that. So it wasn't really.
Wait. What's the name of that guy that used to just do that frog hop? Is that Blanco? The guy used to do that.
Yeah.
Bro,
the fact, bro, Blanco or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how you allow a guy to do that in a football match is crazy. But
in terms of Africa, I mean, as you can see in my AV, there's teams in that continent that are struggling to beat each other, like just random islands off the coast of the continent. So, Nigeria's got to deal with the Penguins and all those dudes, right?
We did a last minute goal to beat Sierra Leone. Yes,
yeah, they're gonna deal with meerkats and penguins and central banks. They're gonna deal with them first.
Do you know how
respect Guinea-Bissau? Respect Guinea-Bissau.
Like, I don't even relax. Yeah, like, I just I mean, just
see HH. Like, bro, Nigeria should be.
Nigeria used to be a team that was respected.
No, bro.
Nigeria used to actually be a football team that I'm Nigerian, blah blah blah.
Wait, was it?
I'm embarrassed.
Was it 94 or was it 98?
I think 98.
No, basically 94 to 98. That was our golden.
That was the golden era for Nigerian.
Bro, I told you we had Kano Nwankwo for George were UCL winners in '95. So that was our team. But the talent is just it's embarrassing. The talent is basically when Iwobi is one of the players you're now sort of promoting, then you know that you're screwed. Then you know that you're screwed.
And I don't think Iwobi, and Iwobi is one of those sloppy seconds that Ricardo was talking about. Like, the dude couldn't hang with the big boys at England. And so the next option.
No. Do you know why he's different? Okocha is his uncle, so he had to play for Nigeria.
Oh, so there's but there's still a tax.
Yeah, no, that's a tax. If it wasn't his uncle, that's the only reason why he makes the team.
Is this nepotism?
Really,
sorry, relax. Don't do that. Sorry, don't do this. He should have done better in that Ghana game. So don't say he deserves better.
Yeah, I mean, he's the reason why they're still looking tickets for Qatar at the moment. So he didn't help anything at all. But Nigeria should be spearheading Africa into the big tournaments, like, because they going back, they had the biggest, the talented players. I can't remember who it was that said it. Maybe it was one of the big Brazilian names. It said like the guys.
I think was it Cafu?
Yeah, one of those guys said it's like the best talents that they because they've either gone over to the continent or they've seen do trials. It's from North Africa. Like the best talent that they've seen, and it's a shame because there's a lack of seriousness in towards like building even the football federation there. It's like it's a joke. It's a joke. So, and you go to Asia, I mean, bro, you say Japan, but you can only take tactics and team philosophy so far, because these tournaments.
But look at how football. My thing is that can't work technically. But look at where football is going, and look at what they did against Germany. Look at what they did against Spain.
No, but you need individuals, bro. Like even the most recent tournaments, you need someone to get you out of a situation. Like, and I look at these Asian teams. I look at the African sides. They have quality players. Some have world-class players,
but they don't have those exceptional.
They don't
game
have
winners.
those exceptional talents where in the moment they will show up for you. Like, they don't have that. Even with Japan, like, they used to have. There was guys that would turn. Who is the best Japanese player right now?
They're all in
Probably no. I'll probably say Mitoma. I say it's
Mitoma.
They're all in
Bro,
Scotland.
that guy is a university degree merchant, man. Like, he's not gonna
Oh,
lead you
don't
to
do
know.
that. Come on, don't do
He's not gonna lead you to know World Cup. Let's be real. And then you look at the other continent. I mean, do we count Antarctica? Could they say what's up?
Big up Antarctica. Big up.
They could beat that.
Yeah, they have lead.
Damn bloody fool.
Santa Claus FC.
It's good.
Do
Give me
the
the
South
answer
Pole have a
from
team?
the
Do the North Pole have a team?
I mean, to be fair, man, those
Santa?
penguins have
Yeah,
most
but-
center of gravity,
See, but
man.
the reason why I'm scared is that I don't want a situation where Nigeria meets Antarctica and then the other
To
one.
be fair,
That
to
might
be fair,
genuinely
and-
happen.
yeah, to be fair,
North Pole. You could argue Russia is
yeah. To be fair, Antarctica probably have better
The
football
tie.
pitches than Africa.
I think the best chance. I unfortunately have to agree. It is the USA. I think that's the best outsider's chance. That another continent have, really. Because but I still think even 50 years. I still think Europe and South America is gonna dominate. Like, even beyond 50 years, bro. Like in our lifetime, we'd be lucky to see another continent lift that trophy. Like, we'll be lucky to see it.
HH, would it be embarrassing
Nice
if United States, maybe Mexico or Japan, or some African countries won the World Cup before Netherlands and Portugal?
That'd be
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
That'd be embarrassing.
Beyond
That'd be huge
very
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
This is your
That
sport.
would be beyond
Yeah.
embarrassing. Like, for me, like, I think that I'd feel specifically more embarrassed for the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Because for me, okay, Portugal, yeah, but the fact that you've been to, is it 2 or 3? 2 World Cup finals.
3.
No, 3. Sorry,
Three
3. So
World
you've
Cup
been to 3 World Cup finals. You've had some of the best players in history, and you've allowed an America or a Japan to win the World Cup before you. Oh no, that's shameful.
I feel like we just need to see the Netherlands and Portugal win it, and then like every main elite football country has won it.
True.
No. But my thing is, you have to just get it. You have to get it done. So, like, for me, I think that for Netherlands and Portugal, you just have to. There are no excuses. See, for Portugal,
They've always produced talent, though.
yeah, I mean, they've already produced. And for me, for Portugal, I'm sure, like, Cristiano, you've had, like, this Portugal team was stacked. Like, I wasn't saying this as a jinx. Look at how talented that squad was. Now, you might say,
Yeah,
oh,
stop
Santos,
lying.
tax, and everything. But I'm sorry, you guys had enough talent to beat Morocco. there was enough talent on that pitch to beat Morocco, and you flopped. So my thing is that I'm sorry, and like Portugal, so you beat Morocco now. Okay, France, that's a toss-up. Against France, that's a toss-up. But
Can I speak of
sure, let me come to AK, then I'll come to KC. AK.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my sides has a far greater chance of achieving a World Cup than the other, considering Morocco actually made a World Cup knockout stage, and India hasn't really done anything in the world of soccer, world of football. I think the thing with North African nations is ever since like Morocco's like I think we got to the 2022 World Cup semifinal. I actually read an article in the Athletic that more North Africans, and especially like France and the Netherlands, are considering representing the likes of Morocco and Algeria compared to like their French and Dutch counterparts. I think after like the 2022 World Cup, Van Basten was there were like people. Van Basten was quoted saying like it's a better choice to represent Morocco than the Netherlands right now, considering where both nations actually are. And like you look at like top French talents like Ryan Cherki and Amin Gouiri, they're both looking at representing Algeria over at France. So that tells you that I think even as much as the best French talents will go on to represent France, there is more French talents are representing the more French talents are representing the country of their parents, the country, the motherlands, compared to the country of their country where they grew up in. So I think that's something to be taken into consideration. But even then, I don't see a I don't see a North African nation really making it as far just because Europe and South America have such a stranglehold on it. If I go towards,
But even though you look at what Morocco did this World
yeah,
Cup,
I think
doesn't that give
the
you
thing
hope?
with I think we did. I think we were. If you told me that we would make the semifinals of a World Cup and come fourth in it before the World Cup, I'd probably think you're brain dead. But you said we got to the semifinals, but there's one thing about getting to the semifinals, and there's one thing about retaining it. Getting to a quarterfinal or above every single tournament. Can we do that? That's still yet to be seen. But I think out of Africa, the North African nations have the best combination of talent and infrastructure compared to the West African nations. So even then, maybe we can make it to a quarterfinal or semifinal, considering we have producing good talent. I'm not confident that a North African nation can win the World Cup as soon. I think
So who's your pick then? Trump, United States of America?
It's very hard because, to be honest, I don't see any team outside of Europe or South America.
No, but if you had to pick one, now, maybe when aliens or when robots take over, it may never happen. But if it does happen, what's your money on that non-European American team? If it does happen,
I have to say,
things the USA.
I actually don't think it can be the U. I think the thing with Mexico is they have to get their shit together, because if we're talking just talent pool and level of players, Mexico should be the team that should win, because that's a country dominated by football and has an incredible population, an incredible talent pool. If they get to a shit together and the federation together, that it should be Mexico, but I think it will probably be the United States, because they have the ability, they have athletes, they have the ability to recruit dual national players. And yeah, I think the United States has the most resources in the world to kind of win the World Cup. But I hope we can win the World Cup later, because it'll be great to see. So yeah.
Casey, what do you say?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be United States. No one else has a chance, because first of all, Japan, man, they're facing a demographic collapse. Same with South Korea. So they might not even have that many young people within the next 30-20 years.
Jesus.
That's true.
No,
they don't want to have kids, right? That's the thing.
I think they have 1.5, 1.4 per family.
Yeah.
But that's a statistical fact, right? If you don't have young people, who's going to play football? People have hopes age.
That'll be crazy. A bunch of 60-year-olds.
To remind
rocking
everyone,
up,
I turned 19 in October. So
how many passports do you have?
15 passports.
Casey, so basically, because you're saying United States of America hoist that World Cup.
Yeah,
before before Nigeria, before South America, before Sri Lanka.
Listen, if it's going to be from Africa, it's probably going to be a North African country, because they have a very good club structure. North African clubs are actually pretty good, like Egyptian clubs and even Moroccan clubs. They do very well in tournaments. If it's Asia, I think it could be Saudi Arabia, given the amount of investment they're doing.
No. No. Those guys just have no talent.
Here's the thing, right now. If Saudi Arabia buy their way to a World Cup, then I think we're done.
HH, who is
Casey. If Saudi Arabia win a World Cup, because I think
Bro,
our work here is done. Our work here is done.
Who was the team to stop?
Why did you use that term there, bro?
What?
Why did you say, "Oh, if they buy their way, bro"? Like, why
The
can't
buy?
Nigerians
I don't.
bro, instead of taking money off the
Did I say buy? I didn't say buy.
You did. You said if they buy their way to a World
Are you
Cup.
sure?
That's a Pep
It's
default.
because the Saudis have no talent. The Saudis are just trash at the game, bro.
To be fair,
No, but Hokage, Iran is also like Iran might also have a chance, but
no,
Dude, yeah, we have some decent players.
this
Yeah.
whole Saudi Pro League is actually going to be more detrimental to their national team, if we're being honest.
It's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
If they're bringing in all these foreign guys, that's actually true. I mean, look. I mean, Saudi Arabia, no. It's
no. It's okay. Have
if we put jokes apart, Saudi, because again, remember this is international football, and they just don't have the talent pool to generate a team that can even come close to winning a World Cup.
HH, who ended Argentina's winning streak?
Speak on it.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia, you have to give them credit, man. Like Saudi Arabia, I think is the only team that has defeated Argentina in like three years or something like that.
Casey, these things happen. It doesn't mean that from then on they're
To
not
be
going to
fair,
win a World
Argentina
Cup.
got robbed, but different
No, it's not only that they're getting good coaches also from Europe in Saudi Arabia. That's gonna be very helpful for them.
Can I speak about this?
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me come to Elijah, then I'll go to Zima. Elijah, what are you saying?
Pull up my AVR real fast.
Elijah, don't tell me you're rapping Congo.
No. As you can see,
Why are they twerking?
What
Honestly, is the big dick working?
Okay, Ricardo, that's impossible. That's impossible, right?
Yo.
Just
The big what?
No, that's not.
Senegal?
That's
yo.
No, that's not saying yeah, that's the yellow. I mean, Elijah, continue.
Yo, shout out to Bolasi.
Elijah, actually continue.
Wow.
Crazy.
No, Bing just destroyed you, man. Absolutely.
I just need these bricks to just make the group stage. That's all I want. Just the group stage. Team USA. I want them. This is my dream. Remember last time we talked about how, if there was a scenario where you just stop watching football after that scenario, whether it be good or bad, the good scenario for me that would end my fan career would see the Congo in the World Cup in the group stage and Team USA winning the whole thing. I'll be done with football after that.
Wait. Why are you against Team USA getting
No,
the World Cup?
I'm not against it. I'm not against. I said if that's a good thing, because that's a good way to go out. That's a good way to just
Oh, okay, yeah.
Elijah.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, I'm not even trying to be rude in that, bro. I heard if you make a song for the Congolese FA, bro, they will call you up for the national team. Is that true?
No, that is actually legit true. That is a true story. No, that is a true story. That is
my God.
This was around 2016.
Oh, that's the easiest audition I've ever heard, man.
Hold on. Let me explain. So this is about 2015, like 2018. So I remember this is when Congo won the not the African Cup of Nations, but the African Nations Championship in 2016. They had a whole song about it, and guys literally would get trials for the national team after just making good music. And like, this is the truth,
bro. There's no way.
I am not lying.
Are you telling me there's a chance YG could have gone picked?
There's no way, bro. There's no way, bro.
So basically, if you hire the right producer, you
Z-Man,
get
DJ
you shut the F and everything. There's a chance that I could play at a World Cup if I make it a hot track.
Yeah, bro, I'm moving to Congo ASAP, man. It's not too late, man.
He said good music, not yours.
Good music.
Wait, Elijah.
That's a Taylor Swift fan talking to you, by the way. That's a Taylor Swift fan.
Elijah.
Casey, no way.
What? Casey, don't like Casey. Casey, you got down on all fours and twerked for Taylor Swift when she came.
What the
fuck? Elijah, continue.
Yeah. So as I was saying, for me, I think based off of
Oh god.
It should pull a wings corner. It should pull a wings corner.
Casey, shake it off, man. Shake it off, man.
Nah, relax.
Wait. Keep going. Elijah, keep going.
For me personally, I want to be realistic. I want DRC first. Let's get to AFCON and then work from there. I think this last one it was too they just weren't prepared. Especially like I just had my cassava and kwanga here. Kwanga is basically it's like fufu, but it's made out of pounded or the yam, which is the cassava. So I had that, but those guys they ate like 18 casings of those before playing Morocco.
Stop.
And then they
lose. No, bro. I told you, like in Nigeria, literally the players used to eat pounded yam and eba before playing a match to basically give them proper strength and everything.
Yes. But it didn't give them strength. They lost 4-1 to Morocco. It didn't help. That's why we didn't go to Qatar. You see? Because if we went to Qatar, I'm buying a ticket and I was going.
Wait, Elijah, you said it didn't give them strength. Did they eat it? Did they eat it because they thought they're gonna get strength?
No, yeah. I mean,
it gave strength to the vocal boys.
Yeah. It fell asleep on the pitch and stuff. For me, I think the biggest hindrance for Team USA though is they got to get rid of the politics behind it. As you can see recently, my boy BJ Callahan was cooking recently, and I was typing. I've been typing hashtag BJ Ball, hashtag BJ Ball.
Whoa! Pause.
Whoa!
Pause.
Okay, you know what?
That's
No, that's the manager's name. His name is BJ Callahan. So everybody's been saying.
Oh
BJ.
my god!
Blowjob.
I want to play that ball.
Hey, yo, chill, relax.
All right, you know what, Zima? Can you just quickly have your stand? I'll take you.
Hold on, let me. And then
Elijah, I don't know how you can go from
Elijah,
there's no transition that
how much was it?
Let me finish. After
Elijah,
that,
where can I play this BJ ball?
What? Hey, yo.
What now, bro?
Hey, yo.
What bothered
you
me
saying he's
most-
for the streets? That's crazy.
God damn.
What bothered me most was the U.S. Soccer Federation had hired a external a group to do the hiring. So they hired they interviewed. I heard they interviewed Henry. They interviewed Patrick Vieira. They interviewed a couple other people. Pep declined because of the contract and everything. This is true fact. And then
Pep could have been the U.S. coach.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to go for.
in New York. Bro, has property in Manhattan and in Miami, so I wouldn't be surprised if he
looked at that.
Pep used to live in Manhattan. Yeah.
If Pep won the World Cup with USA,
sabbatical.
it's over. He's the GOAT.
Oh no! See, then he's over Mourinho. Pep wins the World
What?
Cup with
He's
US.
Mourinho? Why is Mourinho here?
Mourinho's done. Mourinho's done.
And then here's the thing that bothered me. Remember, while doing all of this.
Wait, sorry. Adage, which is why.
No, this is true.
No. I know it's true. I'm just saying. That's why.
What the hell?
I've not made a video. I've not said. Say Adage, I'm done. Adage.
Wait, did they do the poll here?
Please tell me this is not true.
Why SK? They're not doing a YouTube poll.
Are you one of the contenders for this?
That's the thing that bothered me most. So
Bro, these dudes are running Twitter posts, man. That's crazy.
They hire other people to hire a U.S. manager, but then they go back and they hire.
Nah, bro, Africa is done out, man. I'm sorry.
Bring up Emin's comment. Bring up Emin's comment.
Bro, Africa is done out, bro. Like,
allegation, bro. Africa's never survived this allegation.
Bro, Africa is done, man. It's gotta be serious, man.
HH, and then these clowns.
This is US... Wait, hold up. Wait, let me take a quick dodge down. Wing. Should I donate my brain to science when I pass?
What the?
He actually should, bro. His brain needs to be studied.
Would it be of
True,
use?
that's actually a good point. His brain does need to be studied. Wink. HH is forever 90. And okay, Ziman, have you seen Uganda here, man?
I would say this. I would say this in terms of who's gonna win it, man. Like as Casey pointed, the Japanese population is crazy, man. Japan's population is actually crazy because over 25% are over the age of 65, and they sell more. They sell more diaper products for adults than babies. That's actually statistic.
South Korea, I think, is
as much as I would like Japan to win, I don't think that's going to be.
That sounded racially motivated.
No, that's
Whoa.
that's actually statistic.
Whoa, what?
Ricardo, as a quarter Japanese, you should take Zeman to task for that.
No, that's not even racist, bro.
I'm not saying it's not true. It just sounded a little motivated.
Yeah, I mean, Zeman. Because Zeman, I mean, Ricardo can say a few things about Somalia, man. So I'm just saying.
Ricardo, be careful, Ricardo.
No, but
Ricardo, probably the Somalian force outweighs the Peruvian force, man. So I know you Peruvians go.
Yeah, man, they got pirates. I don't think we can compete with
that. I'm Somali. You gotta let me speak on them.
No, but in all honesty, what is this? Why is this a warfare between nations? Man? What happened?
I know. Let's see, brother. This is supposed to be. This is why we have wars, man. We are supposed to be one. Bro, like they said, like, when the guy says when you fly outside of Earth, he says the Earth is just one planet, so we're all one.
It's the World Cup,
okay?
Bro, end the stream, bro. Just
we are all one.
Nah, end the stream, bro. End the stream.
The Earth, the planet is green, white, and blue.
Nah, bro, just cut to black.
What?
Just end the stream.
Hallelujah. You're black, you're black.
What? Oh my days.
What?
No. White clouds.
What?
You mean
So
the
it's
North
white
Pole?
and blue. White
You mean
clouds.
the North Pole? How about orange? How about brown and for dirt?
Well, no. I'm not. I said when you look outside of.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Hey, yo, what the hell?
Look, so basically,
I thought we were
so
talking
we're all
about
in
elements,
agreement.
bro.
So basically, we are all in agreement that America are going to be the first non-South American European.
I don't even think we can, bro. Like,
With the
I'll
help
be
of
honest,
World War,
bro.
yeah.
Ain't no way, bro. I think let's be honest. Europeans are gonna absolutely destroy it. Like, they have the best talent in Africa. There's too much tribalism. Let's keep it real, bro. Like in terms of selection. So I don't see
and just poor organization as well.
Yeah, so I don't see Africa thriving. I'm being honest. It's gonna be
Z-Man,
South
Z-Man,
America.
you know, I was actually being nice when I was talking about the continent of Africa. But after this discussion, bro, there's no, just wrap it up, man. There's no chance. Like, dissolve the sport, bro.
But basically, like, if an African team does somehow just do something miraculously, bro, I mean, I'll be like, but you know what? There's no chance. We don't. All the best talents are going to other dudes. Basically, you know what? It's between Mexico and America.
How are the African best? If they're born in France, if they're born in Netherlands, like they're French.
They'll never pick.
Yeah. But by your logic, like
that's immigrants.
No, but biologic, like except for Native Americans, no one can be American then.
Elijah, would
you know what I don't understand? How does Nigeria dominate the under-20s and then
I shall see you guys on Monday. This podcast will be on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. We won all those tournaments legally.
5 passports, man. 5 passports.
I'll see you guys on the members'
5 different passports.
If not for De Bruyne, Hazard is a walk winner, and yes, Nigeria are technically the best.
5 passports. 5 passports.